but it's lost the 10 EMA on the 5, so we'll keep tabs on that. Hey, it went dark here, Joey. NOK as well, guys, continuing to move up into that $8 area. It's a clean hold off that 7 3/4. Fantastic move on NOK, but south of $8 right now, 8.19 high. Keep your eye on that one. Last but not least, I want to keep your get your attention to WULF. So Neil brought this to us earlier. This has had a couple of bull flags, right? The initial bull flag right at 8 a.m. We pop up on news. We generally hold VWAP. Then right at the bell, 9:30 comes in. We pop up again. Much more of a prolonged bull flag, obviously, this time around. But it's holding trend. So if this one clears 1705, look for a possible squeeze here. May come late, may come in, that power hour afternoon session. But Wolf held up really nicely, Joe. We didn't execute anything on this, but holding trend quite well, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We got one last super chat before we send over to the big boys. We got Nicholas Pham. What's up, Pham? Yeah, you're right, brother. 135,000 contracts, 200 there at that 200 strike price, 192. We'll get more in depth with this on the call of the day. That'll come out tomorrow's session in the morning. 135, 192, lots of volume. We've already surpassed that 195, so watch out for these levels to hold. If they don't, then you don't want to be standing in front of this freight train, guys.
Oh. All right, guys. It's been real. The big boys are that way. I'll see everybody in a minute at the big.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Welcome back, everybody.
I can't find our show, so I haven't been able to log in to the chat.
I think.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody?
There it is.
Found it. Okay, it's found it. Okay, I'll have to hit.
I found it.
Hit the refresh.
It's there now. Well, I mean, you guys are in here, so we found it, and I'm gonna jump into the chat as we speak in real time, and then I'm gonna hit. Well, the first thing you should do when you jump into the chat or jump into the stream, I should show you guys live. Well, I'm already subscribed, so I can't do that. There we go. But I can hit the like button. I'm gonna hit the like. It's still showing the ad, and that's me looking at myself, so that's just weird. Not gonna do that anymore. No, you should always hit the like, hit the subscribe, everybody. Now, obviously, we'll do the rundown. Market went ham during Nvidia's presentation event, whatever we're calling it, and multiple names got affected by it. Whether it was Palantir, Uber, and then
Uber news. What was that? Uber
news?
Yeah,
I don't know. They just essentially they said we have tech that will turn anything into like a robotaxi or.
Okay.
I don't know if they use the language robotaxi.
World's largest networks of autonomous vehicles powered by Nvidia.
Yeah, there you go. I say robotaxi because I think Tesla, but obviously autonomous is a better way to put it. No, but Uber, I'm looking to buy the dip again in this stock because why not, man? It's already bounced off VWAP a couple of times, and if Nvidia's news is rising all of the tides, then jump on one of these bandwagons. It's a lovely fragrance in the office right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, just epoxy or something right here. But yeah, look, we're long the futures, man. We were short the futures early. That was a face slapper. And then we tried short again, but once we broke that high right there, I just said, F it. I'm going long, like, honestly. So the big time long hitting there right now. And we tried to go short on AMD as well. That was a big trade. And then we got stopped out once it broke through, which is completely fine. We had less than 10% left on this trade, broke through there. Tried it again, right around 260, 250 off this epic run. We did extend about another $1, and now you're back down. So we do get stopped out of that one. And then, of course, SoFi, as we kind of predicted, would be back above. And I was like, watch out to see what happens with VWAP right into there. So I hope some of you were able to grab that VWAP trade as SoFi is right back up to the highs of the day. That's only 3 names that I've been trading all day. We'll be looking everywhere. Rigetti and some of the quantum names have spilled up a little bit to the downside, now down to about 4%. Yeah, there it is. So I don't know, whoops, right there to Rigetti.
Jensen mentioned a new quantum GPU that Nvidia. So every single move, it feels like in the last hour and a half is attributed to that talk. And so they tank some stock.
That's Nvidia's thing, right? I mean, they're the one hosting this event, so of course they're going to try to pump some of the deals they have with people and how they're changing the game. It is an interesting thing with Uber, though, because Uber's back up to that $100 level, which I think is probably a take profit spot, especially if you think the market's about to crank a little lower, which, I mean, I know Shreve was mentioning, and I didn't actually get a time frame on him, but saying that Nvidia he was thinking it was going to be one of the most epic shorts So I just wanted to see when he thought that, because if the market is going to fall back in, there's going to be a lot of names that are going to come back in as well with that kind of a play. Bitcoin, I know Joe was pumping it as well all afternoon. Not really doing a whole heck of a lot now, hovering around that same level of 15 and change. I wonder if 14, low 14s is like the new buy spot. Yeah, exactly. So I wonder if that's the new buy spot. So we'll wait to see if 65 can hold again, 14.3, 14.4, something like that. So yeah, it's in there right now. So that's all I've been doing, and I see there's a question about what you've been doing.
No, not during lunchtime. Like,
right
to me.
Right here.
No, well, I'm answering.
Oh, you're answering it. Okay,
yeah, not during lunchtime. To me, to get it back almost to green was a story of a little bit of Beyond Meat, some PayPal, which I was in, SoFi, and Uber. So those are the ones. Yeah, I was just going to talk about SoFi, but we can go. Actually, well, I did mention that SoFi was one of them throughout lunchtime. Like, SoFi obviously did not hold enough, but played it back, that one back into VWAP. And as I said, Uber looking pretty good. I had just trailed out of Beyond Meat, which worked as a short. Oh man, look at that. Now it's working with my allergies too. Yeah, it worked out of that one, which is a short. And I actually might try this one at the volume weighted average price in there again. Is looking relatively weak is Beyond Meat. Tesla, I haven't gone back into Tesla, but if you remember what happened to Tesla yesterday, like it's kind of the same chart, like not identical, but it's very similar, these charts. What's interesting is after it got to VWAP yesterday, it kind of didn't do much until right at the close. It's a little bit of an earlier drop in Tesla than we had in yesterday's trade, but you know, it just rounded, breakdown. This, of course, is going to be on news, so it's a little bit different given that the Nvidia push here going to take it to the downside. That's why Uber was going upside there, and obviously Tesla coming down. So I'm looking at that VWAP. I'm not going to jump into it automatically, but it did give you a similar look yesterday where you kind of got a little topping tail candle and then a reversal. So I had that on my mind. I do have a reload on Beyond Meat and Uber, sorry, Beyond Meat short and Uber long on the mind as well. And I guess we have a poll, which, I mean, I'm going to vote only one way, obviously, on this poll, which is the Blue Jays, because that's just how I roll against Shohei Ohtani tonight. And Bieber.
Yeah, I mean, Shohei's honestly, like, as far as all their pitchers are concerned, Snell's better, right?
Well, on paper. Yeah, on paper, he's their fourth starter. Okay. I find, like, with Shohei, it's like, look, you'll know within the first couple of innings which type of outing he has. Is it he's throwing strikes, he's unhittable, and you just hope that you can get him out of the game by the sixth inning?
What are his good pitches? Does he have a splitter? What is he?
Oh, good. Fastball, splitter, slider.
Okay. He's a power pitcher.
I mean, 97 to a hundo, hard split. If he's locating the split and he's locating the fastball, forget about it and just hope he gets to 100 pitches by 6 and you can get him out.
Right. You get to the bullpen, which
but like Glass
had 11
now,
innings of shutout baseball.
Well, Glass now, if you can make him throw a bunch.
We have to win now because we've got to play Yamamoto again and Blake Snell again. So we can't go down 3-1 having to beat those guys twice. It's going to be tough. But anyways,
it's not 18.
That's baseball and anything can happen. That's why in sports, like, you know, just like the market can fall now. I don't know. But look at the extension that we have here on the daily for the NASDAQ. It's like, this is the TQs. I get it. So it's triple, but like, it's just blasting right now. And even if we look at just the triple Qs, which is the NASDAQ, we can look at the NASDAQ. We can look at the NASDAQ itself, the contracts. I have it right here, the Z25s. But this is like, now NASDAQ is saying see you later to everybody else. It's just like, we're out of here, man. And you got big reports coming this week as well with Alphabet and Meta and all that. Microsoft today took out all-time highs just on a story, like, you know, just as it was any other Tuesday. Wait a second. Yeah, but here goes Meta. Like, what's going to hit tomorrow for Meta? Like, this is going to get up to 800 before they even report. I mean, these markets are really, really off. I mean, I think Microsoft, did it pull back below $50 right here? Yeah, 550. Yeah, so it does get going there. Now it's only up 2%, but what an epic move there for Microsoft. And then Randy's right beside us right here. But we have Tesla also taking out and going to all-time highs. Right now is Tesla. I think it's, 480 TSLA. As we wait for names like Rivian, Randy, and all these other things to do something, this is what Tesla's doing. It's just like, hold my beer, guys. We got this. There it is, back up to 478. Would be in and around the all-time highs right there, made back in 2024. So we did have quite the roller coaster, but right now we're getting lifted again. Mr. Randy, back up there into 470 one more time. So look, lots to talk about today. We have the rundown. It's all the names that you guys want to talk about. We have good old Ford as well. That's on a little bit of a pushback off that $14 mark. Can it hold it? Yeah, exactly. Can it hold that level? I mean, look, anybody, if you zoom back out here, and we're going to see over here, that Ford was already at, there it is. Woo, nailed that. Ford was already at 14 bucks. And then this happened. And that's not tariffs, that's just Ford, all the way back down in there in 2024. So do they suffer the same fate again on a pullback on letter F? So we'll discuss all of that right now. Okay, it's on the screen now. Hey guys, South Carolina, we talked about barbecue sauce.
South Carolina.
The Carolina barbecue sauce. Here it's a little here's a little something for y'all. Y'all blow me away. A couple kisses for luck too. Thank you, Paula.
Appreciate you, Paula.
Bring that Paula Malone over there. What's the Paula Abdul is what I was thinking about. Flash in the past there, Paula Abdul. Look, thank you so much, Paula. That's very, very honestly, it's very kind of you to do that. And yeah, we're just out here every day grinding, really, just like all the rest of you guys and girls, obviously. I keep saying guys, but it means everybody. Out there. So thank you so much. Yeah, Ozan's like, and kisses, eh? Okay. Yeah, we'll take some good luck any way we can. So luck of the Irish, get that good old Irish kiss going on there as well. Randy's checking his watch there.
Why?
Supervision time almost up. Randy was outside there.
Oh, Lucid's going ham.
Oh, Lucid. Okay, well, did Randy finally put an upgrade on Lucid over here?
I know, I just bought the dip at Uber and Lucid's going absolutely ham. What's this?
Oh, partnership with Nvidia.
Oh, yeah, but the thing, if you say Joe just, we looked at Lucid.
I mean,
Joe
Wilson Capital is,
so he says partnership with Nvidia. But on this afternoon, if you say that, it's believable. Yeah. So you can't just yell it out because it's actually believable. But we don't have the news just yet here on Lucid. Obviously, this is going a little bit ham. Oh, that's right, Lucid reverse split. Yeah, I remind myself, I'm like, Lucid's at $18? Like, what?
All right, let's go back over. Sharif sounds like he's ready over there.
I think he just...
let's go ahead and get this rundown started on the day of Nvidia deals and partnerships and
more.
Everything else, which is part of the reason why we are long the NASDAQ. Steve?
All right, just before we get to the major averages, here's the Lucid headline, guys. Working on a level 4 autonomous driving, powered, of course, by NVIDIA. As you know, if you know anything about Lucid, it really doesn't have a good autonomous driving software right now in their model, so this would be a nice marked change for them. So the headline, again, is that they're working with NVIDIA on a level 4 autonomous driving for their cars. Good look for the EV automaker. Let's look at all 4 major averages to start the afternoon here. The NQ leading the way, well, back and forth with the Dow, up 0.75%, well above 26,000, holding on now to 26,156. The ES also up nicely into all-time highs, up 0.33%, and the Dow above 48,000 as it makes new all-time highs again, also up 0.75. The only major average that's actually negative on the day is the Russell 2000, still holding that 25,000 point area. So good look for the major averages on the day. Let's start with the first headline, guys, as decided by you, TSLA. So look, a number of headlines here with Tesla, with respect to Tesla. The one that we got earlier was the Stalantis tie-up with Uber and Nvidia. So Stalantis, much of the same, the headline that we just read about Lucid, is looking to supply 5,000 level 4 vehicles powered by Nvidia systems to Uber. We'll keep an eye on that. Tesla did sell off on that news initially. Also, separately, Tesla's eyeing internal CEO candidates if Elon Musk steps down over the pay vote, Bloomberg reporting. And then also we had the EU sales come in today for Tesla. No surprise here, down 18.6% year over year in the month of September.
Yeah, and quickly before we get to Tesla, I'm going to dump the reload on Uber. If Lucid just got like the new news, this is not really looking as strong as before. And like the name, like it's just losing volume after that Lucid headline. So let it settle. And even Tesla's starting to rebound. And so Thank you,
I just
Nicholas.
put that up. I just saw it in the chat.
Partnership with.
We have a new announcement today. Nvidia partnership with Tradertv.live.
Why not? I mean, everybody else is.
Yeah. Well, Jensen called me and he's just noticing that we're going long, and he's like, I mean, you guys might as well hit up Nvidia. And I was like, oh, well, what do you got to offer us and everything? So we're gonna. It's preemptive. We're going to announce exactly in the next upcoming days with Nvidia. He's got a lot on his mind right now. So I told him, like, look, just relax. Let us know when you're ready to talk. I mean, Jensen just kind of run into my inbox.
He's not busy at all. He's
No,
not busy at all.
no. I told him to give me a sec, give us a second there. But all right, so Uber. Oh, Tesla. Oh, you're talking about Uber there.
Well, no, I was just sort of saying, like, if Lucid's starting to go, like, Uber got its story and its time in the sun for like 20 minutes or so. Ultimately, if you're passing the baton there to, here, I'll show you. We were just talking about Lucid. Like, Lucid's going ham, and even it's starting to pull back in there. It's probably worth it to just scalp some out, and the last trade will probably be flat. Overall, if it stops on Uber, if we get back to the high, we get back to the high. But as far as Tesla goes, outside of the little pullback on the Nvidia, I don't know, turmoil when they talked about autonomous, Tesla's been another strong bullish day on Tesla, where all roads, like we're repeating ourselves, are leading to this 480 level. Now, not ultimately the exact top, but you go, it's like a double top, December, and then we recently wicked up there. So I think it has every reason to get there. I do like, at least for now, where it's holding up, right above $460. So a couple of wick bottoms on the 15-minute makes it bullish going into tomorrow as well. Like I said, I only went short on it twice. And when I gave the lesson of the day, one of the things I said was, so, you know, if you're trying to be a consistently profitable trader, and I gave the math, I was short 9 times on Intel, 2 flat. You can call one a slight win, but I just called it flat to make the math simple. 7 losses, 2 flat, and 2 wins on Tesla. So if I look at the mean reversion trades on those, it worked out at 2 for 9. And if I was 3 for 9, I'd be up between the 2 stocks. And for myself, that's how you got to start working at. What are you paying to try to get those wins? Because if I go 3 for 9, it could be positive. And I didn't really see another opportunity in Tesla. I wish I could tell you I got that top. On that reversion trade, it would have been a good one. I don't even think I was kind of not sitting at the desk when it did that reversion on the 15-minute. But that's the idea. Like, if you're going that kind of a mean reversion trade off the top going against the grain, what's it costing you to do it each time? And I think that's where you got to keep it a little bit reasonable. But Tesla, for the longer time frame, a close above 460, and we have to open above there as well. If we can open above the 460 level, holding that, I think the next stop is that 480. I think it makes some sense. Like, if I hadn't rung any of the register here in front of 440, that's been a double up since the 220 level. If you hadn't rung the register here, I think it would make a lot of sense to take some profit at the 480. To me, I already took some in front of 440 and still have long-term here. I'm just talking about my TFSA. I have a swing in Tesla. And we'll hold the rest to see if it gets to 480. But I can't see any reason it doesn't get there at this point, especially if they're going to buy it up on this Nvidia news.
Yeah, I've been pretty good with basically not selling anything. I mean, the portfolio's at all-time highs. You guys know that we got out of a couple names, but I am so loaded in this Mag 7, it actually makes me nervous. That's why I stepped into gold a little bit, and I know gold's coming back in. It's going to give me some more opportunities to buy some more of that, but I'm getting nervous about how ballooned up some of these things are. And I know I talked with Sharif about Nvidia, and I was just like, yeah, man, like the last time we bought Nvidia, I bought some more Nvidia. Here you go, this is Lucid. We're not going to even talk about Nvidia third. I bought Nvidia last at, 175. Was lucky enough to get these dip buys, and it's just ripping right now. I mean, Wilson Capital there was talking about Nvidia 200. It couldn't get 200 today. Right there, 199 right now. So watch out for 200 coming on NVDA. This has done a year's worth of gains in 2 weeks. Right there, you're up 10% right there in 4 days. Right there, let alone, getting it down into here, 175. That's where we last bought it, was right into here. I mean, I don't know. Just keeps on climbing, man. This is new all-time highs for Nvidia. I'm just going to stay long. The futures right now are $1 in, and we have some shares on, so I have no problem holding on to that one right now. Yeah, and for me on Tesla, what I was getting at is I'm not selling this name. It's the lightest of everything. Like, I probably have 20% of Tesla compared to Google, Amazon, Nvidia, all of those plays. But I like the stock, and it's going to continue to work. The way FSD is, and I just am so impressed when I drive this car around. I don't know. I like the name, and forget about it as a car business. Now that we're looking at FSD, now that we're looking at AI, and we're looking at Elon Musk getting, hopefully, this pay package approved, he can stick around. Like, imagine this. There's some talk right now about Elon Musk, like, not being happy and possibly looking internally for new CEOs. Like, if that wasn't hanging over the stock, I mean, this might already be 500. So we'll just wait for the next couple of days and see if it can get up there. I have a feeling it does. Tesla, I still think it's a great name, great hold. And yesterday into the close, we had this happen yesterday afternoon. So let's wait to see if it does get a little toppy. It was around now where we started to see the move down yesterday, despite having the NASDAQ go out at 1.6, 1.7%. They started to escalate, but Tesla pulled back a little bit. So maybe we've seen the highs. Let's see what this does around 466, 465 today. It could be a decent short, but oh boy, there we go, man. Obi may not be allowed to say it, but I sure will. It's a nice move to the upside right now for these futures, man. And have the ability to do this. Right, like Neil was saying, going 3 for 9 would be great. You may or may not make the Hall of Fame in baseball. We went there short. We went short again. That was an L, and then we flipped over to the longs. We kind of go almost the same right there. One win, a loss, and then another win there, 2 for 3 for the TQs. But it's actually taking over my #1 spot P&L wise now. So let's go back over to SoFi, a name that we should probably still be in. Oh my God, we wrote down 30 long. We had 30 long. We even had 29 long here on SoFi, now taking out the highs of the day. Good that, man. And we love some SoFi long. It's a big position in the swing account.
It was unusual price action, Sean. I mean, we were really up in the pre-market. We sold off everything to start making that low of basically 28.80, and then right back up we go into the pre-market highs, now up 4 2/3. They did quite well on revenue, guys, surging 36% for 2025, accelerating their AI investments. CEO Anthony Noto basically said we had an excellent third quarter. We added 905,000 new members. Total membership now for the platform, 12.6 million. As they use many different products. He emphasized the product innovation and brand building. Adjusted net revenue came in at $950 million, up 38% year over year. And he said basically that the fee-based revenue hit a quarterly record, guys, $409 million. SoFi trading at day's highs.
Yeah, if you go back to the earnings in July, you saw it like gap up and then gave a pullback. It is what it is, and it's now absolutely flying, but it did a similar thing this morning. Like, the reason we're anticipating a dip buy in SoFi, at least I wasn't, I mean, we were both were, so it's just the way that it behaves. You're not going to find anything negative. I think at one point I remember hearing Brendan say, well, I don't know, you can't really see anything negative why SoFi was already selling off going into the open. There wasn't. I mean, if there is, then congratulations. I couldn't really spot it, so we just went first places to buy the dip. And every single significant level, starting with 30, and then working off of the actual low yesterday, and then zooming it out even further, and then going to that 2880 support, that ends up being the one, which was the support from 2 days ago. And yeah, I wish I could say it held through VWAP. I think even, it's not even that. No. Because it wasn't necessary to hold through VWAP. It was actually kept picking it back up through VWAP would have been the better way to put it, because you can trade it to VWAP and get out, and then you can try to get back in the long off VWAP. This has now done the round trip. I can show it on the monthly chart here for SoFi. I'm still holding 75% of what I have. My average price is like under $8. I lamented this stock for a very long time when it was doing nothing for a while. But that's sort of the thing. Sometimes you'll be sitting in something that you like, that it's like, oh, but if you had been in this or that, it would have made money. And I feel like Webull could be the same thing, right down around that underneath that $11 level. Keep loading up on it, and it's not really moving off that level because at some point you want it to break out. SoFi has made this breakout, and from a technical standpoint, I couldn't even tell you exactly where the target should be. Get someone who's like a Michael Noss. I think this is a let it fly moment. Obviously, the 3-day rule applies if you're looking for short-term trades on SoFi. But the fact that it has a good chance to close at the highs, that's something it doesn't usually do after earnings. So we're in a different environment for SoFi. But that is a heck of a rally. and that breakout on the monthly chart to get past the previous high, we've seen that kind of move give you another 40 or 50% in the past.
Okay, we, you know, you guys saw me buy SoFi recently at 25 bucks. So yeah, we're pretty happy with the way this is operating, and I just averaged up into it. I have no idea what my average price is. I'm glad that Neil's got a 5-bagger or 4-bagger on right now. But yeah, I just want to buy more SoFi. So yeah, I'm trying to get longer in everything, right? I mean, I don't think this is necessarily the next Palantir, but I do think that SoFi has just now broken out, and normally on earnings it will pull back. It's not pulling back today. So SoFi, just a great extension at its day's high. Yep. And yeah, congratulations. We were long. It was, again, like, I was just looking at my sticky note here. I mean, we nailed it today. But and again, we're at our day and a half level, so that's good. But here it was right here where we had SoFi $30 long, but I mean, it went down to 29. We said great quarter there. We also like the Google long, the AMD short, and the TQ short, which we got in, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so far so good there for SoFi. And yeah, I think Webull is another case there where we have been buying the dip as well, and we've been talking about some Webull there. So yeah, you know, do the best, but as Webull goes downside, SoFi goes upside. So, I mean, I have way more money in SoFi than I do in Webull, and yeah, even Robinhood. I don't own any Robinhood. But my biggest position out of all of these is still JP Morgan. I mean, we bought JP Morgan at 233 with a lot of confidence in that trade, and we're still continuously going here. We did get something out around this 305, 306 area, I think right where we are now. We didn't explore this 315, but I still think we can get going here on JP Morgan. So yeah, trying to diversify a little bit. Wow, the TQs are really starting to go now, man. So all right, let's go back over to talk about the story of why the market's going, most likely this NVDA.
It is.
All right, guys, brace yourselves because there's a lot of headlines to get through here. A lot of new partnerships were announced. Let's start with this one. Nvidia. AI deals with Samsung and Hyundai. I'm not going to go into the details. You guys can do more research if you'd like. Stellantis, another collaboration with Nvidia and Uber, including Foxconn here. They're going to deploy level 4 autonomous driving. Let's go on. Lucid as well are going to get into that level 4 autonomous driving. They're calling it hands-off. They're using Nvidia's chips for that. He also announced an impressive new metric. We'll get to that one at the end, actually, as this has to do with how many Blackwell chips they're sending. Eli Lilly deploys AI factory for drug discovery. You guessed it, using Nvidia's Blackwell chips. We're also getting into the quantum computing things. Jensen's saying his high performance computing is going to be used alongside quantum. Oracle as well as teaming up with Nvidia here to build out an AI supercomputer, partnering with the U.S. Department of Energy. They're also launching Nvidia, that is Halos certified program to evaluate and certify physical AI for, of course, autonomous vehicles and robotics. CrowdStrike, another deal here with Nvidia for their cybersecurity. Solstice Systems going to use 100,000 Blackwell GPUs to accelerate their Department of Energy mission using Nvidia's chips, of course. We're also getting U.S. telecom leaders unveiling an all-American AI RAN stack to accelerate a path to 6G. You guessed it, using Nvidia's GPUs. They're also collaborating, Sean, with Palantir to build integrated technology stack for operational AI to accelerate and optimize complex system enterprises as well as government systems. I know I'm getting a little long in the tooth here, but the last one here, not one that I anticipated, but Lowe's guys dropping their hat in the ring. They're going to pioneer an operational AI software for supply chain logistics, including Palantir as well. Guys, we are now on Nvidia, trading at $199.32. We have a market cap of $4.842 trillion.
And it's still cheaper than AMD by market cap.
Yeah.
Or sorry, by PE, I should say. Sorry, by PE. So, and look, that's nothing against AMD. It's just an observation because AMD's been such a rocket ship. And if you've been paying up for it, congratulations. But like, to me, like, it's Nvidia's world. Like, who didn't just get named there for a partnership with Nvidia at this point? Like, if you didn't, it's like, what are you doing? You're not utilizing them, and this is sort of the thing. One of the concerns that you will hear time and time again is okay, you can't keep that big of a market share. You can't keep your margins that large. That's entirely true. But you also have to consider that as the pie grows, and you've heard things like 5x, 10x over an extended time period, 5, 10-year time period, then 80% turning into 50% and margins going from 70 to say like 40, when you have that type of growth in the overall space, isn't necessarily that bad. And that's just how it goes. So as long as they can keep producing, obviously a lot is at stake. But this is a very, very bullish candle because it just looked like you were pulling back here on Nvidia. This is incredibly bullish. I think it's going to see this 200 level. I don't think I take an afternoon breakout on Nvidia because it's been just the way that it's trading. I think you have a better shot buying a dip on a breakout. Like let it try to break and then just try to pick up like a 99 on the way back through on Nvidia. Just the way it's been trading has been like more violent to trust an afternoon clean break.
Like just to talk about where we were on Nvidia, like I just checked my account. Like we're up 1,200% on it. Like I haven't bought any in my 401k in a long time. And that's why it's getting to be a little exciting to the upside there on NVDA. Like I believed in that name for a very, very long time, and it just continues to rocket up. But there is a sad thing to talk about because each year there's over 3.8 million concussions reported in the United States, and there's still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Origenics is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Origenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Please learn more by simply scanning that QR code if you haven't had any experience with concussions or know anybody that has. Scan it, get some more information, and figure out if Origenics is right for you.
SMCI Nvidia now.
Yeah, everything, man. Eli Lilly partnership with, I can't make this up. Eli Lilly and Nvidia here with a partnership.
Yeah, but that obviously makes sense.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
so there it goes to the upside. And this is what I'm talking about. I know Sharif was mentioning about the moat, but this is that moat that they have literally in every single business that you're thinking about. And the problem with Nvidia is about their moat. People can catch up with the technology. That's they're not going to, but they could. The difference is that it's also software tied. So it's so expensive that once you're in somewhere to get that next stack going, it's so expensive to do that. And that's why a lot of these companies, they do share deals with AMD and Nvidia and all this to sort of diversify themselves. But at the end of the day, I mean, this market, I am going long. I know we're talking about Nvidia. I'm going to go long on $200 right now on Nvidia. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening, man. It looks like it is going to take out 200 right now. And yeah, so there it goes. When Joe, I know Joe, I misheard what Joe had said, but when he had said that he thinks Nvidia by year end, I know that was a call that he made a while ago. That's why I was like, Nvidia probably by the end of this week, but it looks like by the end of the day right now. Well, this is already 200. I mean, where it is right now.
Distinction without a difference.
Yeah, exactly. So, congratulations to anybody that has this. It's been a, I was going to say it's been a ride, but it hasn't been a tough one. You haven't had to, I mean, all stocks, well, yeah, that's right. We have that split. All stocks dip. Like Nvidia earlier on this year already went from 140 down to 90. Like they already had a 60 or 70% retracement this year. That could happen again. And if it does drop 60 or 70%, like it's already done, like have memory, right? This was 8 months ago. We went from 140 in end of February. We went from 140 down to 90. So we lost $50 on 140. So we already lost 35, 40% already in one move, right? So that could happen again, and if it does, you'll see Nvidia back down into here, and then we'll be scooping it like it's out of style. But for right now, yeah, we're looking at Nvidia breaking 2 bills, and I'm going to take a small piece of it and see what happens. If we do that infamous fake and break, then we can get longer back down into here, 198.50 or so. But this is really helping out this position, man. The futures trade just keeps on ripping northbound right now. All right, it's the eye of the tiger, but this time it's wolf. So let's go find out what's going on with the wolf pack these days.
Get to Wolf in a second, Katina, man. I just want to let you know some more tie-ups here with NVIDIA. Zoom throwing their hat in the ring. They're going to be using their AI stack to expand NVIDIA's Nemotron models to make AI smarter and faster for every business. SMCI, a company that already collaborated with NVIDIA, is expanding that collaboration with respect to data integrity and the quality of US-based manufacturing. Look out for that as well. And then I got this headline: Microsoft and NVIDIA announced an AI advancement at the GTC. I didn't get all the details about that one, but as soon as I do, I will let you know. So Microsoft throwing their hat into the ring there as well with NVIDIA. Let's talk about Wolf, though. WULF up 23 1/3%. Here's the deal. So they entered into a joint venture with AI and cloud platform company FluidStack to develop and operate a data center in Abernathy, Texas, with capacity of about 168 megawatts. It said the 25-year hosting commitment represents about $9.5 billion in contracted revenue for the joint venture, and Google's backing this, guys, with about $1.3 billion of FluidStack's long-term lease obligations, while TeraWulf's contributions will be made in installments.
Yeah, and so look, I think I wasn't really looking at Wolf, but there's been a couple of questions. A lot of people are talking about like bubbles, and first things first, every rally technically is a bubble because all we do is print more money, and then that just causes asset prices to go ham for a bit, but it gravitates from what's causing growth to another. It goes, like, typically speaking, for the most part, the market is good because the capital gets allocated to, it's like self-correcting, allocated to the right places, right? Like, but it does cause exuberance like this, and sometimes you're going to have situations where things get extended. But if everybody is saying it's a bubble, this is a top, oftentimes that's not the moment. It usually catches you by surprise. Like, maybe it'll be something like when we finally have certainty with China, and like that's when you think we get another push, and then all of a sudden that's a selling event. I don't know, and that's the whole point. It's not that easy. Now, something like a Wolf, this is exactly the kind of stock that if we got, like Sean was just saying, like that 40% pullback in April, I'll use that as an example here for Wolf. If NVIDIA has that type of a moment, it can pull back 40%, and I think a lot of us are just going to line up and be ready for it. Like, I bought it a month early in March because I was like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, I wish I got the second dip buy. But if a stock like Wolf, it's a different story. When this unwinds, it might not be 40%. It might be 80%. That's just how it's going to be. And when you talk about the quantities, the same sort of thing, like these crazy runners. For now, momentum is good. It's literally breaking out another high, and you think that looks strong? 80 million in shares, and look at all the volume off the open to cause that move, and it just consolidates off the high and runs back into the high. That's bullish until proven otherwise, right? So it's holding that prior high on any kind of a dip. Congratulations if you got it. It's the only thing it's doing right now is resisting 17. So under normal circumstances, I haven't even checked. Like there might be a little something here. Free locates, just double checking. Like it's got a flat top, so whether it were to false break that flat top or maybe break this little afternoon trend line, there might be a nice little scalp trade here on Wolf. But on the daily, I think you play momentum till it goes. But keep in mind, eventually when we do get some kind of a pullback or correction, it's stocks like these that are going to be the real violence, because it won't be some structured pullback on something like a Wolf.
All right, I'm still waiting for Nvidia to break 2 bills, so I think that's going to happen very, very soon. So I'm going to just throw it back over to Sharif. We can talk about BYND, and hopefully by the time we get back, we'll see Nvidia through this $200 mark.
Yeah, guys, BYND only up a 3 1/3 here off the highs. It got to 236. Now it's actually breaking down below 2. I was involved in this one momentarily on the midday show. Nothing new to update you guys on, but there is this bullish flow apparently here from options. They're saying options volume running well above the average of 758,000 contracts traded, and calls leading puts for a put call ratio, Joey, of 0.37 compared to a typical level of 1.07. They're saying the implied volatility, guys, is also up 14 points near 272, the highest 10% of observations over the past year. So really no technical no fundamental reason why this is moving, but some options volumes.
I mean, earlier it was up 8% earlier, but not anymore. It's still up on the day, but 2 days ago it failed the 200-period moving average. Today it failed the 50-period simple moving average on the daily. Beyond Meat still working on the back end. like 165 would be like a theory of support, and if it loses that, I think you got the obvious dollar level. If it gets to $1, I'm going to imagine that's going to be entirely too popular of a bounce level, and I'll go to a 3-minute, and it's probably a level that you'll have to give a little bit of room. I'll probably be involved if it gets down to that dollar level again, but for now, I'm just trading off $2. Like it missed VWAP. It ran to the upside, had it this morning, stopped it out, missed a turn, but now just shorting it, looking for essentially just the low. Right? If I think 165 is a support level and the low today is just above 170, last stop is going to be just in front of that 170 level that we're holding on to. If it goes red, it goes red. I don't think it goes red by much. I expect it to find some support because it's still a meme stock with a pretty decent sized short float. So I do expect some bounces to come back into play. But for now, shorting off of 2. I have a reload that never got filled. I'll take it one more time if we are able to get it. Almost there. What's the high? Did it get to 88?
Yep, whatever it got to was the high. I still like Big Bear AI. I mean, these guys are going to report November the 10th or the 11th, one of those days. A downside right there. So just waiting for Nvidia to announce a partnership with Big Bear AI. But yeah, this could be another one of those names here as the brigade and the army for Open Door and Big Bear AI. It's still going to be something here. We'll wait. I'm actually excited for this earnings report. I actually want to see if it could dip down in and we'll be able to buy some more of the biggest and the baddest bear around, Big Bear AI. Happy with our target, man. If we can get $100, we just tweeted it out yesterday. We made a call $89 a couple weeks ago where we actually bought it and, you know, talked about it on the show and not just saying like random stuff like, oh, I'm up 1,100% on Nvidia. It doesn't do anything to anybody. This is an actual call that we had made down here, so I was pretty happy with that one. Just like the SoFi play, just like our Apple play that we made the day when it was there at 212. I remember grabbing some flack on that one as well. This is why it's getting to be a little frothy in my opinion. Like all of these names, man, everything right now at all-time highs. Heading into earnings season does give a little bit of a pause for concern. That is for sure. And I just want to say you can't trade one without looking at the other. So I've been getting out of some TQQs here on the way to the upside right now. Just a couple, basically emptying it out. Like right now and I don't know, I've traded thousands of these shares today. I don't know what I have left as far as a percentage, but just on these last little reloads, just pieces left. So out up here, look, if it breaks, we already want to take Nvidia long through 2 bills. So if it does break, then obviously this will extend higher as well. But we're just getting out just in case. So that next level right there is 119.20. My stop on this was 118.44. Well, that's a new stop. Obviously, it's where I'm long now is above that price. But I was going to stop out on the 50 period breaking. It's never done that. So we'll just adjust our stop right now. We're getting close to it right now, 119. Let's go to breaking the 15 marker, and we'll get out of about half of what we have left if there is some kind of a pullback, because we're noticing right now that NVDA is pulling back off of that 200 level. So to be expected, right? Yesterday we saw a pullback of Tesla off of 450 until it said no to that. And right now I'm bidding right here at the 50 period moving average. So if Nvidia does come in just like this and tests right there, we want to go long on NVDA. So I'm going to go long there, and I'm going to go long if it breaks 200. So a couple ideas right there for the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, we're up quite large. Still, AMD is still my number one P&L name today. And SoFi, just to go back on some of that talk again, how we don't ever want to have 2 big losers compared to our winners. SoFi right now is a third of what we made on both. The TQs and AMD are almost the same. So let's just say we're up $100 on each of these, then we're down 30 on AMD, right? So easily helping us, you know, make some of these goals and making sure that, hey, when we're wrong, we're punching out, right? Like we're wrong there, we punch out. We're wrong here on the short, we punched out. We were long again. I don't think we actually punched out up here, but as it fall back in, we taking profits where we see levels, you know, and taking profits at the 50 period, then at VWAP, and then again where we see some protection down there. All right, NVIDIA did not go down as far as I hoped it would there to get longer. So there it is, man. The dip basically went to 40s. Did it go to 40s? Yeah, 30s, 40s right there. So that just gave you an opportunity to do that. You were in a long, weren't you?
Well, that was Uber a while ago.
Well, that's Uber. Yeah. I was just
the second Lucid started going, I was like, I'm not gonna reload it. I'm just gonna get out of the third long on Uber. I'm gonna get back there in a second, but there's another. It's not only Nvidia this time. It's US selects Hewlett Packard and Nvidia. as partners for 2 new supercomputers. So that just hit the wire. HPE is actually breaking out as well. So if you're looking at HPE for whatever reason, this is also looking pretty good. Like what tech stock, hey, here, how about this? If you have a tech stock and it is not looking somewhat adjacent to this kind of a pattern, it's not very good. And you should maybe re-examine whether you like that stock.
Qualcomm, ARM.
Oh, ARM, but you know what?
ARM
Actually,
down 3%.
So ARM, I think ARM, and I'm not just saying this because I trimmed some up here, but this is a huge level for ARM, and it might take some time to get through. That's all. Like this 180, like it's 1, 2, 3, now 4 times and a couple of times just in the last couple of weeks here that it's struggling on pullbacks, but higher lows still. Like the structure of it's fine. ARM is one of the reasons why when you're looking, if you like something in the long term and you don't necessarily like the price, but you know it's a long-term hold, buy 10%. Like, do I like where MP Materials is right now? No. But do I want to be in it? Well, the first time I bought it at 50 credit, I thought it was overpriced. And if I buy it to 200, I'll still think it's probably overpriced, but I'll get 10%. Because I didn't do that with ARM, even though I like the stock. And then instead of being long at 50, like I was waiting and just getting really lucky that crazy dips happen in the stock. Like I was sitting there unwilling to buy it at the 200 period moving average, and then we happened to have a market dump in April. And it goes into this low. And as I said, it was the only thing that I actually bought into in April because I was doing most of my buying in March. During spring training. So I think ARM, I don't think it's in trouble, but if you're counting at home, this is in the midst of a pullback. At some point, I expect it breaks out, but I wouldn't be surprised if ARM retested the 50 or the 200 period moving average down around this 150, 140 on any kind of a small market correction. But we'll see. It tends to take its time, and then when you're not paying attention, it goes a little bit ham, like Micron did. Micron green? Oh, Micron's green again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Micron, wow, Micron was doing absolutely nothing. And then check out this 218 level from yesterday on Micron. And there's support, and bye-bye. Sometimes it's just like that one that lulls you to sleep and then goes absolutely ham. Okay, I think Wolf might be, here's the test of Wolf at that 17. As I said before, if this false breaks the high, I thought I saved that. If this false breaks the high, like I see a topping tail candle through 17, I'll probably take a shot at this one for a reversion or just let it break the trend line. If Nvidia is not going to test this 200, I suppose this will be the next trade.
We're getting some TQQs right now, and we do have to, and it's a couple, okay, there it is, wow. We are starting to get back up to the upside. We just took another fill right there at 50 or 48 again there on the TQs, and now we're gonna wait for a move a little bit higher. But if you are looking for some exciting news and you are a trader here in Canada, thank you for watching, and thank you, welcome to our stream. But Beta Pro by Global X Canada is their largest provider here in Canada of levered, inverse, and inverse levered, wow, Nvidia's trying to go right now, ETFs. Has just launched 6 new triple levered ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P and TSX 60, as well as treasuries, semiconductors, all over there on the US markets. Even better, they're offering this fee rebate until December 31st. The US focused strategies use currency hedging to offer potential for pure performance and exposure. If you are tactical and sophisticated and looking to amplify your performance, which is why we're trading the TQQs, please check out betapro.ca/3 times daily to learn more by simply scanning that QR code on the screen, Adara.
But I hear an Eli Lilly, which oddly enough actually has an NVIDIA catalyst as well. Eli Lilly and NVIDIA partnering up to build a supercomputer in what they're describing as an AI factory for drug discovery and development. Now, I also want to mention here, the sheer collaboration here between HPE and NVIDIA was not necessarily new because A, HPE collaborated with AMD with their supercomputer announcement as of yesterday, and B, NVIDIA actually was mentioning HPE as well, or we were seeing reports that HPE was going to be involved, but there is news with HPE with regards to Nvidia that just came out. HPE and Nvidia here 1 minute ago. HPE saying that its Nvidia HP300 NVL72s are now available to order. They're expecting to start shipping these within 2 months from now, December 25. I'm also seeing a Tesla story right now too, guys. It's been a very heavy news day, so I'll mention this as well for TSLA. Tesla's saying it'll be adding a steering wheel and pedals if mandated by regulators, I'm guessing, with regards to its FSD. Thank you for that super chat saying that someone also partnered with NVIDIA. Lots of NVIDIA partnerships. But one more thing with Tesla that I saw while I was away from the news desk here. Bloomberg reporting that chairwoman or chairperson Robin Denham of Tesla's board saying, or I guess in general here, Tesla looking to do an internal CEO search because they're a little bit concerned here if the pay package is not approved that Elon might leave the company. Back to you.
Well, but still. Well, yeah, just sort of like and we were just sort of talking about like the robo taxis. Like I get it, you want to make something like minimalistic, but I think that's like do that at a point where the adoption is so massive that it's only that single purpose. Like to me, like a blended vehicle makes more sense at first than something because people always want that option to drive. Just one note on Eli Lilly here. It's not everything is going to rally when it gets like an Nvidia deal. Like Eli Lilly's doing absolutely nothing here. But ultimately, I think this one has turned a little bit of the corner. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at anyways on Lilly. Whoops. Is it finally? There we go. Like it's got a very good channel. And if you zoom out and obviously like it'll look like there's probably a better name for calling it some kind of a bull flag or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You get the idea. It's consolidating with this good channel with a chance to close above and break out. I think there's another possible leg here. I just also believe, even if it doesn't, I'm now looking at this, now that we have like 3 or 4 points here, as a dip buy situation for myself. I've only trimmed a couple of times just because it got too big in the portfolio and just relatively speaking, and that's all. So I'm going to try and get this one if it goes anywhere near the bottom of this channel. But I also believe this could be an average up as well, where it breaks out this top, and then I'm just thinking, okay, just got to have it and try buy a little up there. You just hear Nvidia in Zoom.
Yeah, it's about Zoom.
Yeah.
Partnering up or something. It's another deal.
It's just another one.
Yeah. And this goes to that point that I was sort of had to grab the mic there and talk when Sharif mentioned potentially Nvidia doesn't have the moat around it. Disagree with that wholeheartedly.
It's a different type of moat than what you're accustomed to with, like Microsoft. Or we're very familiar and comfortable with the moats that Microsoft and Amazon and Apple and Google had. But then you have to remind yourself at the beginning, was anyone comfortable with what moat Amazon had? It wasn't until it was obvious, and at that point, you don't get the same kind of growth. That's just sort of how it is. And like at the end of the day,
right now Nvidia is a hype machine, right? So
no, of course it's the hype machine. But I think look, we're going to have to weather a dip buy. But at this point, you have to also understand that 80% of a market or 90% of a market long term going to 50 is not a bad. This has happened before. And is anyone upset with the percentage of cloud that the big three have? And it's not just a one company ship? I don't think so. I mean, all three could win right now.
Well, apparently they all are. So, yeah, look, we are, I'm just going to stick with it, man. Like, if you sold Nvidia at any point in your life, you were wrong. So, I mean, I'm going to hold out that to be true for a while here. It's at the all-time highs, and, you know, if you just held it this whole time, you know, you're where it is. Obviously, if you're good enough to, you know, sell up there and then rebuy there, good on you. But I mean, I made the same mistake like on SMR. Right? Well, same mistake. I sold this at 57 and was saying like, oh, maybe I'll buy it back if it gets into here. And then when it comes into here, I'm thinking like, oh, these SMRs and all this stuff, new scale, which is SMR, these reactors and everything, maybe nuclear is not the thing. Maybe we're coming back down. So when it comes into here, I don't rebuy. You know, so the fact that I sold at 57, fine, sure, we put money to work in other places or get that 4.5% just sitting in your account in cash. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to make the calls where they lie. Nvidia's pulling back, so I'm going to get another piece out, which we just did right there on the futures again. So just scalping this out on the upside. We have enough shares to be able to do this. And that's why, for me, trading bigger share lots and doing stuff like this, we heard that Bart Simpson in the chat there, I guess, I don't know if his shorts got eaten or what, but he was talking about it, and if you're there, Bart, what's up? That you would change your style a little bit to this as well, right? And so, again, this is what I'm doing, trading a little bit with enough shares to be able to do this. On the way up. I feel like it's too many outs, but every time it comes into certain levels, I'm taking it. Like, this is still over 20 minutes. It wasn't breaking till eventually it does. At some point, it's going to fall back. I actually got to adjust this. I put my stop on the TQs at 119.14s. Let's just trail this right now. That is 35, so we're getting close again. 119. This is why I'm like tapping out a little bit. Let's just put it to 24. We'll get out of another 50%, but these 50% are less and less because we're taking it out on the way up. So that would be a play there. All right, what I'm going to do is...
Heavy drop here in ORCL right now.
ORCL, okay. I'm just going to reset this thing right here so that we can get more votes, because this is obviously just being dominated by these three names right now. So let's go restart. Now you got to get into the chat, and you got to hit $ something. And if you do $TQQ, well, there, someone knows. Okay, you still want to talk about Nvidia? Okay, ORCL, Nvidia, all that. So, okay, SoFi, all right. So right now, these are like the three names we just talked about. Nokia up as well on, you guessed it, another dealership. Shout out to the dealerships out there. On another deal with Nvidia. Robinhood up 1%. I'm going to pause this for a second. Adobe up 1.3% as well. I don't know what MSPR is. We can have a quick look there as well. The Trade Desk is down to 3%. I do not like that name at all. Now we'll unpause this and see what's going up there.
Kidding.
No, I did talk about CrowdStrike.
Oh, you did?
Up
okay.
3% there.
Yeah, it looks
all-time highs, man. I mean, I haven't done anything with that stock either. Netflix, we talked about yesterday buying that dip into about 1080 or so. We didn't do it, but Netflix up that 1% again. A name that, again, I'm long Netflix, but I'm not doing anything with it. That was one of the bigger winners. Yes, Adara?
I was going to say, to be fair to you, Sean, it never really went to 1080. I think its low yesterday was around 1086, so you probably wouldn't have gotten your fill anyway.
No, I wasn't waiting for it. I was just randomly guessing. So yeah, I'm gonna say success on the guess of 1080 there. Yeah, so I'm not buying more Netflix on any dips. Again, this is just a name that I haven't bought in years and years, and its trajectory is up. But like right now, they're subs. They had that tax problem in Brazil. I love the live sports angle. We talked about that over and over again. But I'm still thinking, like, the last time it broke the 200 period was like back
it does show it.
23.
I don't know why you're using. Yeah, it's 2020.
Yeah, no, it's because I haven't expanded it out. Yeah, so I know we did this.
We did this yesterday.
I did this a lot. Yeah, it's going to be right there. So that's happening right now. So there is a buying opportunity there for Netflix as well. So got to stamp that. I kind of do approve that buy. So Netflix, yes, I choose you, but just not right now. I actually chose Samsara. I just tweeted it out again right now so that we can look back in whenever, and I can actually have receipts. Not just me blabbing all the time. We can actually have receipts, just like we do on SoFi, just like we do on Target, and all the names that we put, I tweet them out. So there it is right there. I bought some Samsara today at $40. So let's wait to see if that one can work as well. Follow me at TraderTV Sean for more ideas in the long-term account as I post them up there when I make a decision. What is up, Adara?
But now here in RR, Rich Tech Robotics, trying to get a little bit of a bounce here off this low, announcing a new robot. So RR with a new robot. Keep an eye on Rich Tech. Back to you.
Yeah, Mitch like robotics.
Nvidia just went down $1. Now it's right back up $1. Oh my gosh.
What the heck happened to this stock?
That's too bad, man.
It's right there.
Oh, Rich Tech, yeah. Nvidia's right here at 200. Like, we should have. I was sitting at the 50-period moving average, but I was at 198.80 because that's where it was when I put it there. So I got to change this, man. We should be $1 in the money, but it's all good. It looks like it's going to try to break it. We're going to take it with like half a unit just to see if it wants to go, and then now we have a little bit of a pullback area just in case it wants to pull back into 199. We like that for a dip and then a rip back up. But yeah, you're just looking at Rich Tech. The robotics name for me is ARKQ, I think it is. This is I've been in this name probably 3 or 4 years now. This has been a great trade, and I haven't even looked at it. So just straight up, this is the Kathy Ark robotics name. So okay, Nvidia's breaking right now.
See that level? Oh, you just
it was huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to automatically.
It's done 200 million in volume. Knife, hot butter, essentially.
Oh yeah. That size is not going to matter.
It's not going to matter.
It's got to get a push, which is going to go right now.
Yeah,
Come over to my screen. You might as well at this point, Andre. Here it goes right now, breaking through. I'm only going up 20 cents on this break. So hopefully we get it, and we'll see what price we get exactly. It's going to have to go to 201 cent. Then it will trigger in. That means we broke through 200. I'm not going to go short off this level. I mean, the short is there for you if you guys want to take it. I just worry that, you know, the punch out, I don't know where I'm going to get it. There is millions of shares, by the way, there. This is a very big level. If I zoom it, see, there it is. So you're seeing that's 1 million shares right there by itself on NASDAQ, let alone another 600, 400. There's about 3 million shares maybe. Now that you can see, there it goes. So it's gone right now. We are long right there now at 2020 on Nvidia. Look at that pullback. So again, half a unit. We did kind of expect this. So we're still here. Let's see, how high did it get? $20.40 right there on Nvidia. So fine, we'll just wait. That little pullback area, it just went to 199.50. Maybe that's a zone there as well.
I'm at 55. I didn't get filled.
Okay, so a little bit of a pullback there. Yeah, into 55s. Okay, so we'll just wait. Again, no, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this could pull back and then rinse right through 199. So just be ready for this. I mean, this is why it's a good thing we're up on the day, and we discussed that we're only taking half a unit here, but let's just wait to see where it wants to do. We're gonna load it in as well. If it gets back into the 50s, we'll put some more on right there. But right now we're looking like a moron taking that punch. But at least we said we were going to do it. We do what we say we're going to do around here. And there it goes. Nice move to the upside. Pop goes the weasel with Nvidia. We're now in the money, of course, as it goes now 20 cents upside. Where's my offer? Okay, we get filled at 40s. So we take out 5% as Nvidia just continues to climb up. So yeah, man, I'm there at 199.50 as well for that dip buy opportunity, and even lower if we can get it into 199. But so far so good here on Nvidia. We're only out of 10%.
Yeah, it's a great look on Nvidia. And so the answer is, by the end of the day, well, power hour, by the start of power hour was the actual correct. I'm just going to leave the 199 hash, and I did sneak one up into the 60s just in case it doesn't really go, and again, to give it to 99. But I did get into that trend break on Wolf. So there's the trend break on Wolf. I'm looking for the volume weighted average price, which is down at 1622. So Nvidia is the big story. Remember, it has dragged a lot. Like, it's dragged a lot of things up here. So were it to actually fall down, like, I don't know, if you happen to be in like Micron, if you happen to be in anything that's run with it, Oracle, anything, you just be wary. If this fails and you're breaking down underneath 199, I suspect there could be some bigger opportunities on pullbacks. The one thing I'd look at if this fails is SMCI, for myself, at least short. SMCI, distinctly different. Lower highs all afternoon on SMCI, and that's with a news story today. So if there is a kind of a deep drip, I'm kind of looking at SMCI through the bottom here if we get a failure through 199 over there on Nvidia. And I paid for locates on this morning. Here at Real Trading, most things are free, but typically we have to pay for SMCI. So it's Nvidia's world. Everyone's just sort of living in it. Bit of a topping tail candle in here at that 200 level, but that's not bearish if the next candle closes over 200 bucks. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in here waiting to see. Hopefully, I mean, at this point, yeah, it would be nice to get a dip buy opportunity in Nvidia. We could reload that out that we took there, and then we'll see where we can go from there. But it looks like it is trying to pull back. On that note, guys, we did take some more out because look, if Nvidia is going to fail and there's going to be a downside push, then we do have to watch out for our TQ trade because that could, I'm going to get out another 5% right now. That could be the next shoe to drop, right? Is the whole market if Nvidia takes it with it. So that's a possibility there for NVDA to bring this whole thing down. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but if it does, let's just get out now. We're much lighter now on this TQQ position. So another out there at 40, maybe it can come back up to that upside again. Here goes AMD. Let's check out AMD because we do know that Nvidia is getting all the love right now. Nvidia kind of just doing nothing. Sorry, AMD doing nothing, although AMD is still the P&L #1. It's just a matter of not trading it since. We actually favored the short, as we wrote down on our note, for advanced micro devices. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm fine just sitting here. Like, I wasn't expecting that to break through 200, basically the way it did, and then come right back in. Like, it went to 240, came back. Now it's okay. Now it's coming back up. Let's just take another 5. Okay, well, we did 5% twice. It's going to be 10%. There it is. Did we get it? Where am I at even right now? Oh, we got it. Okay. So I think I was at 35s there. So let me double check. 37. So we got a 40 and a 37. So we're just taking out like really small pieces here, man, like 20-cent winners, which is nothing. It's dripped down a lot more than that against us. So now we're comfortable. We've taken out 20% of this trade. And now we'll just wait to see if Nvidia wants to moon. And if it does, great, good on that. And meanwhile, the futures continue to move upside. It's power hour, man, and our net is powering up right now. So far, so good on this day here. The Nvidia day, the day that the NASDAQ goes up another 1%, it was up 1.8% right now. Nvidia is on an island, and the Qs are on an island by themselves right now, and just really happy, obviously, with, wow. Okay, man, I know you didn't take it, but Nvidia just is accelerating now. Right there to the upside, man. Fortune favors the bold, and there goes Nvidia. Nice move, man. It's too bad we actually get the price that we put in, and we didn't get a better price. But right now, 40 cents in the money, and there she goes, man. Again, a pretty easily structured trade, breaking key levels. We talk about that all the time. There it goes, man. It's Nvidia. It's a monster here, Neil.
Yeah, it's an absolute rocket ship, or Alpha, great look over there. Imposter, I'll get to your question in a quick little second, but I'm just strategizing whether I want to. We didn't get the dip buy. I thought into 199, so it would be, to me, it was stretching it a little bit to try to get it up at 200 to give it to 199. I don't want to risk that dollar on the trade. But I will answer a question about Oklo. How can anybody can report? Like, it's Oklo tanking. If a stock like Oklo doesn't have revenue and earnings is coming.
No Oklo news that I can see.
Yeah. How would they report? Well, I mean, people report zero revenue all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know, like there's public companies that are concepts that have a product that maybe these guys do have a design for a small modular reactor. It doesn't have federal regulatory approval yet, and they don't necessarily have any that they've sold to people, but it is an actual design that they are building, which could get that approval, and which could then get bought up by a lot of customers, right? So there is, you know, like there's something there. I'm not here to tell you that they're making any money, and it's the same thing with like Rigetti and all that stuff. But yeah, there obviously is something there.
All right, you guys know what I'm doing. When I left you earlier today, we were $4 or $5 in the money, AMD and the TQs combined, and that was on the short. Now we're doing this on the long again. So again, like I just put in the chat, this now I know why I'm here. We got to have these trades on board. Like for me, that's what I got to do. You got to put these trades on. Everybody, Nvidia couldn't get away, right, from the top stock, and I actually use this as well as an indicator, right? I mean, you guys, we're doing the show for you. I mean, I'm doing it, you know, for myself to trade, but I'm glad to have everybody here. And you guys keep on wanting Nvidia, just like you keep on wanting SoFi. So you guys sniffed this one out on Nvidia, so I tip my cap to everybody out there as well that has this kind of a trade on board, right? I mean, this is what we're here for, is to do things like this. So again, let's just celebrate what Nvidia's been doing today. I hope that you guys have it, and if not, maybe you have something else, because right there, man, it just broke, and there it is, man. It's now another $1. And we just put this on 5 minutes ago, and this is the moves you can have in this kind of a market. You know, you can have these kind of moves where they get extended out. We've been having these moves for the whole year. And there it goes, man, 201 and change. Wilson Capital is gone right now. But this is a huge move now to the upside as it just continues to extend throughout, man. Shout out to T-Money. That's a hell of a trade for you, T-Money. You're long at 199.50. Great trade. I should have been long, honestly.
You got 50s?
No. I think just from before. I actually put this 50 period. I should be long at 199 flat, but I wasn't paying enough attention. I put it at 198.80 right there, right? But there it goes, man. Huge move now. There it is, man. $1.10 right now in the money on that one as we celebrate here as Trader TV Live goes parabolic one more time. This is just... What a great show, great day. Thanks to everybody for continuously coming back, man. Let's see what that sub number's at right now. I can't do anything else, man. We're up $1.60 right now. There it is, 78.6%. Thanks for getting that thing going, man. But Neil, this is now $1.50 from that break level that we were talking about basically for the first hour of the show. So there it goes. Let's take out some profits on the way up, which we've been doing. I have half left. So I think we've done pretty good to hold on to half right here on NVDA. It keeps on going higher. Congratulations again. But it's the Nvidia show here this afternoon.
That's the key, having half, because like it goes to 1-to-1. You want to have more than half on the trade. Someone asked me what my plan on SMCI was. Dependent on Nvidia actually dipping. Like, I'm not trying to short. SMCI is not strong, but I'm not trying to short it if Nvidia is doing this. If Nvidia does any kind of a stop, my plan is not to short Nvidia, but to short SMCI because it's downward trending. So I'm just staring that one down. I'm not really reloading. I mean, I'm in that from before, and then Wolf is still that trend break. But I'm just staring this one down. I think it'll be a VWAP break on the second I see Nvidia look like it's losing some kind of a topping tail. I'm just going to punch through the volume-weighted average price on SMCI. So sort of using Nvidia as a futures, and then looking for this as a breakdown underneath like 52.80. So you got some lower highs that it's working. You do have some resistance here at 53.2, which does give me an out. And then the second I see a little bit of weakness in the tape or like a topping tail, something along these lines here that we saw at about 3 o'clock, then I'm jumping short in SMCI. I like a sympathy play if I have to, and not necessarily Nvidia. And wow. I felt it would be a failed break. In theory, it did dip, but it didn't fill that 99.50, which is about as far as I wanted to go for it, because I was going to stop out at 198.90 or so. So I wanted to risk about 60 cents to do 200, would be like risking $1.10. So I didn't want to risk $1.10 on that move. I wanted to risk about 60. So as we see, it's still looking incredibly strong. The second I see any weakness, I'm going to jump on over to another name. And SMCI could absolutely follow. It's possible, but right now it's only Nvidia going up. As long as it's only Nvidia going up, I'm not going to assume that something else is going to follow.
Yeah, the futures are absolutely ripping too. We keep on talking about Nvidia, but we've also got the futures right now. We've got two stocks right now that are more than $1 in the money right now. Okay, it's only 3:11. Let's see if there's any other names you guys want to talk about, because honestly, we're done now. I'm just going to be riding these things to the upside, but we can start talking about more stock if you guys want to. Neil's going to be looking at SMCI. That's fine. Target. Ooh, someone voted Target. I like that. We can talk about Target. I mean, Target's a name that I bought recently just to get diversified. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. I mean, look at this TQQ trade. You want to talk about, this is why I'm mad that we didn't get that load in Nvidia, because we took the 50 period here twice on the TQs, wanted to do the same thing with Nvidia, but unfortunately missed it, or else this would be even bigger than it is right now. But there it goes, man. I mean, whatever. This to me was just always just could have taken more shares, but it doesn't matter. It's still moving upside right now, and it's putting Nvidia. And again, my first trade of the day was this one, this break right there. You know, trading is not rocket science. It's just science. No, I think it's more art than science.
Well, it's definitely not science.
Yeah, it's more art than science, but it's close. I mean, this was just a simple 200 break. I think that's about as easy as it can get right there. So that's just a numbers game. But I did want to talk about Target here. Okay, so here's Target right now. Yeah, wow. Oh, it did get to $100 today. Wow. Okay, I think I'm going to put an offer up here now then. All right, guys, we're long at 88.50 or so on Target. We had talked about that down here, so that was a really good play that we posted up again, and we talked about this, when we had it. It did go against us, I believe, because I think we probably put it on in here, or maybe we put it there. I'll have to go find the date, but there goes Target right now. It looks like it gets to that 100. 100 was our first mark. So let's put 99.50s in, and if we can get that tomorrow, then yeah, we'll be happy. If we can get 99.50 tomorrow on Target, because look, it just came right into that level again and then faded off of it. So yeah, man, so far so good on this trade for Target, but that's not good. We've pulled back now $2 almost straight down on TGT. That's 2%. So we've given up about 2% on that one. Wow, I don't know what's a better trade, man. The TQs right here, which is the futures trade, or NVDA, but both of them just continue to rip upside. I talked about Marvell earlier today as well as a possible sort of picks and shovels name. Not doing much, only up 0.22 with the NASDAQ now up 1%. That name just keeps on flying around as well. Tesla, Palantir. Let's look at Palantir, another name that we really liked. We talked about this at 11 bucks, 10 bucks, but that's a thing of the past. Let's look forward to what Palantir is now. 190, recent highs of 195. We'll see if we can. I'm not taking Nvidia on a 202 break, but it just broke 202. So I'm going to offer out some 89s. There we go. We got them. I'm offering also some 202s here as well, just so we can get out of that. Up another 5% goes Nvidia. That might be the pullback that people are waiting for. So we are now, on Nvidia, we're about 35% left. So got some good outs there on the top, right near 202. And let's just wait to see now if there's finally a pullback happening in this name that is really leading it here this afternoon. Probably SoFi is ripping as well, but I can't be long everything. We're long the futures and we're long the strongest name around, it looks like, with Nvidia. I'm sure there's a stronger name.
Still making higher highs on the 3 minutes, so if it's doing that, I'm not punching the short. SMCI is breaking VWAP, but I already said the reason I want to do it. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I was just about to try to find it. I don't have to anymore. Wayfair. From KC 526, it had just what everybody needs. I think this is going to turn into a heck of a trap at some point. The pure squeeze play. And as far as I'm concerned, you can see this is now up 5.5 times from the low. This is $20 stock, almost at $110 from April till now. Anybody not ringing the register at Wayfair, I think you're kind of asking for it. It doesn't seem like it would be the kind of stock. It's not Rigetti, obviously, as a company. It's not Oklo. It's not nuclear. It's not in that kind of a space. But it is moving parabolically. And if you're moving parabolically right now, you're at all kinds of risk for 30%, 20, 25, 20, 30% type dips. That can easily happen. Think what happened in Newegg. I can easily see that happening in a Wayfair. This is one that, for sure, ring register. The reason we brought this up as potential yesterday was just the short float. And the fact that it was at such a breakout level, I would not be touching this with a 10-foot pole up here. Not the way some of the retail names have been going. Like look at, Target pull back all day long, PayPal pull back all day long. Not that it's exactly retail, but kind of makes you wonder, especially when there's some concerns about the labor market as well. So I could see some headwinds for them, and if there's any kind of small headwinds, that stock could be back 20 or 30% right quick. Oh, better example would be A&F. Remember A&F a couple years ago? That crazy parabolic run it went on? Yeah, well, when that lost the bid, it was nasty for weeks. That's what I think Wayfair is going to do. I don't know where the top is going to be, but it feels like it's getting close.
Okay, yeah, I like Wayfair, but I haven't looked at it. So when you talk about retail, I always call about Walmart. Walmart down now just 7% from its highs. Its highs were 110 or so, 109.90, something like that, right there for Walmart. So that's a nice double top, but the double top happened the same day basically, so doesn't really count. Good pullback area for Walmart. It's really liked the 50-period moving average. So if you're going to buy some, I'm not buying any Walmart around here. I've got my boat full with Target and then with Lulu, L-U-L-U. This was another name. Yesterday they had that deal with the NFL. They got up to what, 190 or something yesterday, maybe. Yeah, 190 and then just fall right back down. This stock needs an activist as well. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying everything right now on the stream. Nvidia's coming back a little bit. Let me take out a percent here as we'll get out some more Nvidia there at 43s, and then we did get out some more TQs as we started to drop down. So we're getting lighter and lighter on all of these positions as we're heading into power hour, heading into the close. So what will Nvidia do? Doesn't matter. We're out. So we'll get out another piece now at 18, and then just let the rest ride. But it is pulling back quite nicely now, Nvidia, into the 21-period moving average. So if you missed the boat, I don't know, could be time now. But we're going to go over to Adara and see what she's up to.
have here is actually some comments from Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang. So to Sean and everybody trading Nvidia, just so you guys know, he does appear to be speaking because I've seen a slew of comments coming in. He says that he is confident Trump's going to reach a good deal with China, but that in the meantime, they're going to assume that the China market will remain at zero for Nvidia. He also said, though, that a return to China would be a huge bonus for the company. So this kind of echoes Jensen Huang's previous take here on China. It'd be nice if they could have revenue there, but they're generally working under the, I guess, assumption that they're not going to be having China revenue for the time being. Back to you.
Thanks, Dara. So look, Wolf went to 80. I just double tapped out of it in front of the 50 level and jumped over to SMCI because we finally had a little bit of a topping tail candle in Nvidia. I said the second that happened, I wanted to go over to Supermicro computers, which is also underneath VWAP. So I'm playing this one, looking for this resistance at 53.10 to hold out. Going to short it pretty much at VWAP, and I want an average price in the 80s if we can, risk about 30 pennies on it. I don't expect necessarily the low of the day, but if Nvidia goes even back to 200, I think this could get down to like 52.2. So again, out of Wolf and jumping over to SMCI. If Nvidia breaks out the high, I can at least elect to not add to this position. I'm going to use Nvidia as the futures. As long as Nvidia is underneath the high, I like it, and I'd rather trade something a little bit weaker over there. Carter, I see a bunch of people in the chat saying dump. What's dumping? I'm not seeing anything dumping right now, but you guys let me know. If there's something moving counter to the market, which is dumping to the downside, let us know. SOUN? Soundhound dumping? Well, Rich, I get, yeah, I mean, I suppose. Yeah, down 4% on the day. That's not actually that much for Soundhound. I don't know that, like Rich Tech Robotics is dumping, right? Like this is down, yeah, like that's down 4%. Rich Tech is down 7.5%. Like I would argue that is a little bit more adjacent to dumping, although it's leveling off a little bit. This one could get spicy on a pullback. The way it respected the 200 period, if you can start respecting the 50 period in here, that could be a good level to pick something up. If you think there's going to be a second leg, if you happen to like robotics plays, I know Mitch was talking about that one. I think that could be a trade in the next couple of days. But I'm just going to go right back, like I said, SMCI at VWAP. Right now the stop is at 53.10. If Nvidia breaks the high, then I do not want any more of this stock. BTC, I see in the chat, people are saying.
Yeah, it's going down.
Joe traded some Bitcoin.
I told you, Joe's basically the two stocks he traded was Tesla and Bitcoin, so we know what he's all about.
See,
good for that. I think you should trade what you're strong in.
Shoot, it was it Solana? Maybe it was Solana.
Around 200 bucks.
Why is it's weird? Like if I type in SOL, Solana's like the 13th thing on my drop down.
Well, no one, I don't think, yeah, our system.
No, like it's just
probably don't trade it.
Like this one, look at the double top that this put in. It goes right to, like structurally, like goes right to the same high as yesterday, and then heavy fall. Like sometimes it is just that symmetrical. I don't really look at that. So like I've looked at Bitcoin, I've looked at ETH to trade, and then we trade them through the ETFs only. But that one stuck out today when I was just going through some charts. And shout out to Real Trading. You could technically trade it, but we don't bother because the ETFs are fantastic and there's plenty of liquidity in them. And realistically, if you're at Real Trading, you're gonna have more buying power in like the U.S. equities than you are going to be able to get in crypto. So there's zero advantage to trading, actual Bitcoin or actual ETH or I believe we have Solana. I'm pretty sure we have XRP as well. If you wanted to trade that one, but yeah, not my cup of tea. ETFs are the way to go. That's the best game out there. Better leverage.
Yeah. Good. ETFs are good.
And liquidity.
So what we're going to do is basically, we've got more out of Nvidia. So right now, we had 20% left. So that's okay. We have less than that left on the futures. Oh, that's going red. So that means I have another offer out here that's a little too high. Oh, I have 119.90, which is what we had for a long time ago. So here we go. I'm going to take another piece out right now. We're getting into the close right now. So just really starting to ring registers here, right, as we continue to watch out for what's been happening in this market, and it's just straight upside right now. So I do want to say that I'm going to take one more out here on Nvidia at 42s, and then I'm going to, if it breaks 201 on Nvidia right here, that's going to be our out. and then we'll get out of like 75% of what we have left, which will leave us with like 7%. We just got another piece out right now, so now we have under that 20% left. We have like 17, 18% left. We're doing about 2.5% at a time right now. All right, let's go find out who's making money. This is real money, not to throw shade at other prop firms, but this is actually traders. We have tons of funded traders. You're looking at one couple right here, it's not. Look, not everybody's funded. Neil and I obviously have been funded for a long time. These are real numbers. So you're probably going to see someone blow that out today. But someone yesterday, these are the top 10 traders at Real Trading using the exact same software that Neil and I are using. $39,000. Someone traded Amex yesterday and NASDAQ. So that was a big day for that trader. 40 grand. We'll take that. Look, you'll take 9 grand if you can make that. That's 9. There's a 10. Sorry. 7,600. These are all in US dollars. These are the markets that they're made on. So it doesn't look like we're going to have too much Europe here. Oh, there we go. Shout out right there to Blue Ocean.
Earnings season.
Number 10 comes into Blue Ocean right there last night. So yeah, that's coming into play there. So we can see that. New York NASDAQ, Amex, Canada. So pretty blah on the vanilla, I should say, on what was making money. But at the end of the day, making money is making money, and these traders sure did that. So that's a little bit of a review of all of the money bag yos that were put on yesterday here at Trader TV Live. We're adding to the Trader TV Live pod every day, but we're also adding to the Real Trading pod today with, again, another good day. We're at 2 times our daily goal. I wish we just, like I said, we were just putting on half a unit or a unit here on Nvidia to the upside. Didn't love the break as much because, again, end of day breaks, not completely in love with them. I'm not in love with breaks really at all that much anymore. I like to play the names that have momentum, and I mean, Nvidia clearly had tons of that heading into this number, and man, did it like that 200 a lot. It just ripped right through that. It first printed 20s, which is, we didn't get long until the way back in. We missed the first punch, and then it came back in and filled us up. And then it went down to like 50s or 60s there, and then bounces right, I guess it went to 60, then bounces right back up into these levels where now it's just like rolling, right? Like we're just roll tide right now, like Alabama. We're rolling this market, and it just continues to go higher. So hopefully this is a good look for the Blue Jays today as we're crushing it, and I hope they can do that similarly tonight as well. So go Jays, go. Hopefully it's not another late one, but tomorrow's Fed. I'll be up no matter how late the game goes, of course, and I'm sure you will be as well. But tomorrow's Fed, so that's part of the rally here. We're up now 3% in 3 days.
I'm just saying, I'm lucky tonight because my daughter has she has guides, and the neighbors, one of my neighbors, good friends, their daughter goes to guides, so they're picking her up from school, and they're taking the guides. So I only have to pick her up at 8 o'clock. So I get to have a nap when I get home, ready for the game. I was asked what's going on with Mara. This is Bitcoin right now.
Look at Nvidia.
So my guess is, I haven't called up Mara, but whatever's going on in Mara is probably because of what you saw in Bitcoin. It's just that simple. So Mara probably moving usually a little bit more than BTC. So Nvidia got to the high. Remember what I said? Mm-hmm. I said if Nvidia broke the high, if Nvidia broke back the high, then I could opt not to add to SMCI because that was my reason for getting in. Bitcoin, Nvidia just made a high, so I wanted to jump in underneath VWAP, got VWAP. It got all the way down to 52.5, but Nvidia broke out the top, so I just jumped out break even on the last of the trade. So ultimately, you know, if we get follow through on Nvidia, I think I had a weak stock, so I like the trade overall. Could have gone a little bit further, but waiting, and I always tend to think it's better when you get something going parabolically, if you can find like a sympathy play, something that might fall, has a decent chance to fall if it goes down, but is not as strong as to rip your face off on the way back up. And that's, to me, what SMCI was doing. There, I just saw there was a comment in there, but I didn't catch it. I don't know if it was another question.
I don't know.
What did you have up? I was explaining, what the heck is that? I know, but if you get the advantage of one, like there's very few times where I don't have to take my daughter, like I don't have to get her dinner tonight. My wife's traveling for a couple of days. She's going to like St. Louis on a business trip. So usually I gotta get dinner, I gotta get her to guides and all this stuff. I don't have to do that today. So yeah, I'm gonna get home. I had 90 minutes of sleep last night, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a nap. I don't like naps as a parent. Like that stuff ends when your kids don't nap. So if I get a night off, I'm gonna have a nice 90-minute nap, and then I'm gonna watch the Blue Jays hopefully not get destroyed by Shohei Ohtani tonight.
Yeah, my kids have dry land training, and then swimming. So no rest for this guy anytime soon. But we'll be watching the game for sure. There tonight. Swimming ends. I think it's 7:30 to 8:30. So I'll miss the first inning or two. Right there. Yeah. What's up, Ozan? Traders don't nap. Well, hey man, I'm pretty tired right now, going to the gym in the middle of the day. But you know what? All we do is get refreshed. Like we came back in and put on probably the two biggest trades. I mean, AMD, I think, is also a big trade. But for me, the two biggest trades right there, we just put on, and they're just longs. Because trader needs to identify also, traders don't nap, traders need to identify trends. And I mean, even if you missed, like even Nvidia, like this is what's happening right now. This is just part of the feels of the market, right? So it's just getting long, watching this thing go back up to the upside. Let's talk about something else. All right, so let's go back over. UNH had earnings today as well, so that one could be a good play to the upside here. And then the fade down into 378, 377 for UNH. Great little bounce off of when it broke through VWAP, or what maybe was the 50-period moving average on there at 290. So again, we know all the struggles here with UNH. I chose Oscar. I choose you. And right now, we can have a look at Oscar. They don't report for a minute, but there was the nice break on the 50-period moving average of UNH.
If you zoom further out, like the 200.
The 200 periods right where it is right now?
No, to the penny is the top.
Oh, right now, okay. Yeah, so this is gonna have to average in, and then we're gonna get the 200 period right there. So yeah, it makes a nice little move there, but that's the break that could have been taken with momentum, and that's why we talk about 50 periods, stocks you like breaking back up through the upside right there. And I'm not tired of telling people that, like, and again, the other hosts, we have Sharif and Joe that are just Bitcoin, and I don't think they ever say anything bad about it, but I wanted to make sure to tell everybody that honestly, like, Bitcoin's not performing that well, and like, if you just put your money basically anywhere else, in the last year or so, or for sure in the last 6 or 7 months. I don't want to say anywhere else because that's not going to be true. But the NASDAQ markets like gold, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, and all that, you probably would be a little happier than in crypto. But crypto's still moving. I mean, you're still up on the year, right? If you go back into January and you actually bought this thing in January, so let's just say you're long here, 60, I mean, you can't cherry pick the bottom all the time, or else some stocks would be up 500%.
Yeah, but I think in
$60 to $64, like the fact that this is up 6%.
I think you can cherry pick the bottom.
Oh no, but I'm saying for stocks though, I'm even saying like stocks have really outperformed Bitcoin if you pick the bottom.
But the April low,
I'm trying to give Bitcoin a little more credit.
I'm just gonna keep it real with Bitcoin. Now I'm not gonna pretend that I've taken a bunch of profit on this because I haven't, and I'm not much of a seller of Bitcoin. But look at how long this was the top. Like to me, I'm not a charter market technician. I drew 4 lines on this chart, and I've had the same every time we talk Bitcoin. I have the same chart on the daily. Yeah. This was the high on Bitcoin. Look where it dipped to in April. That was a buy. It's that simple. And when it does a 2-level pullback, in which it hasn't done, it'll be a buy again. But it hasn't done that. And when talking to 2-level pullback, just look at the support and resistance on it. So it did a 2-level pullback, and that was the April low. So like, and with Bitcoin, that was 105 to 75. That was only 30%. That's not that bad. That's not even that crazy for Bitcoin, the 30%. No, but it gave it to you. And if it does it again, a 2-level pullback or a 3-level, I'll try it again off Bitcoin. So to me, I think you can cherry pick it because that was a level that was there forever for you. But at the same time, you also know it then holds these top sideways things for like 2 or 3 months. Like you get your chance on the dip, and then you just have to hold.
I think that dip level just proves the point, though. Is obviously I think
wait
that's what you're trying to do.
Wait for it to do something.
No, it's just the fact that it's underperforming. I mean, Bitcoin is underperforming pretty much everything from that April low. So I hope it gets going. I am a big Bitcoin hodler.
Here's a question for you.
I don't remember the last time I sold Bitcoin, but Neil, I have a question for you. We're $2.50 in the money right now on Nvidia, and you can ask me the question in a minute because we got to go to Adara, and then we'll come right back, and then we'll figure out how come when we started this show we were 50 cents in the money, and now we're $4 in the money.
I'm going to ask Perplexity the question.
Okay. All right, Neil's going to ask Perplexity a question. We're going to get back to that, and we're going to go over to Adara right now. And man, this has been a sired kind of an afternoon. Congratulations to everybody.
Interesting story here for KVUE. Kenvue has been down all day. Not a ton of a move on this, but I think maybe worth noting regardless, especially with one of the companies I'm going to be naming is actually doing earnings after the bell. So long story short, Wall Street Journal just reported that Kenvue is hiring here a new chief marketing officer here. His name is John Halverson. Now, I looked into John Halverson. Seems pretty respected in the industry, and for the last 8 years, he's been working here as a global SVP with a marketing focus at Mondelez. Now, Mondelez, of course, reporting earnings after the bell. But either way here, long story short, Kenvue reportedly hiring John Halverson, former, or I guess as of right now, current marketing executive at Mondelez to take over here. We know Kenvue had a bit of a PR crisis as of late with regards to Tylenol and some reports and suggestions that use of Tylenol with pregnant mothers can lead to autism in children. So either way here, interesting look here for KVUE. Just wanted to mention this story, guys. Back to you.
No, I was just asking what 5 trillion market cap. I was going to ask you to guess the price for 5 trillion market cap. I asked ChatGPT. It completely punked. It screwed up royally. Like, I don't know what the heck was that? Maybe it was, oh yeah, ChatGPT. I don't even know what the heck it's doing, but it said 2,000. I asked Perplexity, and it looks like it gave the right answer. So Perplexity says 205.20. So 5 trillion at 205.20. Most stocks, I mean, not many stocks have done it, but Apple will be the best example. Every time Apple closes at one of the 3, the 4 trillion, it tends to be a resistance spot the next day. So I would suspect maybe you get a little bit of a top on Nvidia if that's the case. But it's now 335, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. It just made another $1 higher, and every time it does, I'm gonna look right over and look for the same scalp trade in SMCI. If it does another topping candle and then pullback, then I'm jumping right into the same trade in SMCI. Not gonna short Nvidia, but see if I can get another scalp trade there. 10 minutes or 15 minutes until the imbalances come through, so it's probably not that much more time. So 5 trillion, I don't know if it gets there today, but certainly it's obviously going to get there. It doesn't, like, to say it's going to get to 5 trillion is a completely pointless thing. Tomorrow is Fed day. I feel like if it doesn't do it tomorrow, it's certainly possible that you have to wait till Friday, but I think it does it tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just, oh, you know what? The TQs, I'm going to look over there because they're pulling back just a little bit. We had an out. The 120 level doesn't mean anything. You know, this is just an ETF. This is an ETF, so it's not going to print off of any key levels or anything like that. So we're just getting another piece out right now on this one. And I just said to Nvidia, I mean, I like that math there, 205, but this is about as clean and easy right there for me. I think we probably should have reloaded at the 21 period, but right now with only 14 minutes left, we do have imbalances coming out. So I'm just like emptying everything out right now and just going to enjoy sort of what's in the blotter for now. This is what's coming into the close. So right now it looks like we do have Nokia. We haven't even talked about Nokia, and I apologize, man. I mean, I'm just stoked to be in these 2 trades that we have for you guys. But Nokia right there, AT&T, HPE, SMR, right now all looking like decent imbalances. Nokia's been a good little level there. They got ripped on that Nvidia story again, so they were trading around 650. Nice move up to 760, and still 25%. I would say you might want to look at this at VWAP, but again, with only a couple minutes left. No point in going too crazy right now on any of these names. There's your SMR. SMR continues to, again, make a move down, but wow, what a good day for them, up that 10%. I think this is a name that I'll buy down there at the next time it gets to 35 bucks. Maybe we'll put an order there, just let it pend for a month and see if it fills at some point there. And we can always cancel it if we hear some negative stories. But yeah, Nvidia still 260 plus another $1.50. That's $4 in the money in total right now on these 2 positions. JP Morgan remains a buy despite it coming back in just a little bit here. JP Morgan. So we got to be careful on what exactly this name is trying to do right now. Down, still up on the day, but give a little bit of a, was that a sell imbalance for JP Morgan there? I missed it. Oh, there, no, it's a buy. Okay. So buy imbalance coming for JPM. So there might be something there as well. Conagra Fords had a move down. We did get a bump up there on Lucid today. That okay, and then it just did this. So there's what Lucid did when we were here talking about it, when there was some sort of a tie up there with Nvidia and all the way back down. Remember, all these things are just announcements about like, hey, we're working with Nvidia. Like, these aren't actually deals that Nvidia is making with anybody.
No.
These are just like, oh, Uber is going to use Nvidia chips to do this. Okay, like of course they're going to do that. Use Nvidia chips. What are they going to use? Intel's chips, and their cars are going to drive off cliffs?
It's 80.
No, they're going to use Uber. They're going to use Nvidia chips.
80% of the chips are being used are going to be Nvidia. So it's like
Right. So there's the moat, right? So yeah, but that's that. So just be careful with everything here. Be careful on the traders and all that kind of stuff that you follow and listen to. Just make sure that you make your own decisions all the time, because there's so many different things to trade, man. There's oil names, there's nuclear, there's Rigetti's of the world, there's the quantum plays. We haven't even looked at Google here yet. And this is all-time highs today is Google up to 270. I mean, what a ripper this has been. We didn't even look at Microsoft here. Microsoft, huge move up to 560 today. All-time highs again for Softy today. So this has been a huge name there. I still remember when I was trading this with my dad, $40 to $50 was this name 20 years ago. But you know, I know Nvidia crushes that, I understand that, but still, nice there for Microsoft. Meta, Oracle came up too. You want to talk about a new technology, man? Roblox, like this company didn't even exist 4 years ago. They're at 131 near all-time highs again as well for Roblox, and that's holding out. So there's a lot of stuff happening. PayPal today got a great little bump up on their report. You mentioned it's come back in. Yes, it has come back in quite
bigly.
nicely right there for PayPal today. So yeah, wow, whoops.
when 20% turns into 5.
Yeah, like there, look at that. Right back in today's low. We had written PayPal down at 73 for the buy, but I'm not doing it now.
Someone in the chat this morning was asking me, like, where would it need to get to take profit on that recent break of the 50 period? I was like, I think as it trades back into like this 79 to 80 area, because that was like it tried to bounce there in the pre-market. I don't know, whatever. Like it's not like I shorted it there. Like I only went long in PayPal, got away with. This is another one. Let's just call it got away with the longs, because we had one good one early and a kind of an okay one, and then lost a VWAP there. I didn't short it, but there was obvious resistance to 79. But give it the 3-day rule. This is still. It's going to close. Well, I mean, I don't have to knock on wood. It's going to close above the 200 period moving average. If it can hold that for the next 3 days, then I think the long is still very valid. But it gave you hold 65, hold 50 period, go right to the first obvious resistance area at that 79 to 80 area. So like to me, not taking profit there would just be crazy. Like what's the point? Like it's the close over the 50 period where you get 70 longs risking 265, and it gives you 80 on earnings, and you can trim that. And if you take half out, then it can't be a losing trade for you. And then you hold on to the rest past earnings. So with about 8 minutes to go, still only Nokia on the early look imbalances. Of course, they're just another company that got to deal with Nvidia. Not a big enough imbalance. Nokia's done 340 million shares. So that 2 million is the definition of a nothing burger. Nokia would literally have to be 10 million or something. Not much by the way of earnings today. Obviously, there's a lot to go over with the market and Nvidia booming the way it is, because so many deals and so many stocks, and even ones that we haven't talked about, were super strong. We haven't talked enough about SoFi having a big day. There was an earnings play. UNH did an up-down move as well, so there's a lot to cover. Is Brian on?
No, I told Brian no today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So it'll be Sean and Adara, and of course, remember, Fed tomorrow as well. 98% chance of a quarter point cut. Almost probably
it'll be
probably 99 by now.
It'll be good to go very, very soon. That rate cut will be a rate cut tomorrow of a quarter point, which is part of what's happening right now to the futures, right? I mean, they're starting to blast up here. Now you get 3 or 4 straight days. We talked about the NASDAQ being on an island of its own. It is starting to pull back, and we've just been getting out of all of our positions. So yeah, with only 8 minutes left, let's go find out what Adara's talking about, and we will go from there. What's up, Adara?
Seeing a lot of comments circulating here from Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia. A lot of these I'm seeing kind of on repeat, but this one I have not seen yet. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang apparently saying that Nvidia is going to start doing more chip packaging in the U.S. over the next several months. So to be clear, he mentioned something to this effect during his keynote speech today, basically saying that NVDA has already started Blackwell production in Arizona, which of course is in the US. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be doing more packaging as well in the US over the next several months. Back to you.
So thank you very much, Adara, for that. Something we don't always talk about, the lack of breadth today. Like the market, the NASDAQ's up 0.9%, the ES only 0.3. Like why would the ES be up only 0.3? Well, look at the heat map of the S&P. This is why the NASDAQ is strong. Microsoft, Nvidia, Broadcom, Tesla, Amazon. But look at health technology, manufacturing, utilities down, consumer services down, finance pretty much down, unless you're SoFi, baby. Energy to the downside. Health services mixed, but that's because UNH is holding on to green at this point, so it's going to be big there. Yeah, not too crazy. Like it's not even too crazy in tech. Like it's strong, but it is relatively mixed. I mean, Meta's actually barely up, and Alphabet's actually down today.
Yep. Sure is.
I'm trying to figure why. Probably just because it's at an all-time high.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, it could be that. There was nothing specifically bad about Alphabet, really. Yeah, I'm not terribly concerned about it. And as you said, you're going into earnings on an absolute tear with Alphabet, so probably just a little bit of profit taking happening there, and maybe similar why Meta is going to be flat.
That's right.
Yeah, like Meta looking. It's trying to get off the schneid. It's going to close with that 50 period, so it's looking pretty good. But Meta's been sideways for a while. I don't know what gets it to that next leg to the upside. Advertising is going good. I get it. Obviously, the metaverse and the glasses aren't that big of a deal. But come on, they don't need that. They got a heck of a lot of other levels to pull. I feel like sometimes everyone wants that next thing, and they don't care about the buckets of money that you're making on your core business because they're just people care about what's going to be next. If what you have now is making boatloads of money, that's good enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Disney has that problem too, I think.
Yeah, I don't love Disney, but yeah, they do have that problem.
They're making bank with the parks. They're making bank with.
Yeah, the content I think is a problem right now for them. Yeah, so SoFi, man, SoFi, so smooth. Today we say big ups to everybody that has been doing this. It's really the Nvidia show for sure, and we talked about futures as well, but at the end of the day, it's SoFi's day too, man. SoFi today takes out, I think this is all-time highs, right? Took this out over $30, continues to climb higher right into the close. So again, just another big-time trade right there today for SoFi if you got it. Unfortunately, it dumped out there when we had left, just as we were leaving the show at 10:30, and then 10:40, I guess, makes that bottom, and then this into here could have been maybe a trade. So I think that's the missed opportunity, sort of not getting involved right here with SoFi. But at the end of the day, you're going to miss some stuff. But we have like big time movements where it needs to be. We just took the 200 period out, right? 50 period out. So we just got out of basically everything right now on Nvidia. It just left me with a small piece. I probably could just get out of it. It's not going to turn the needle either way. But Taiwan semis right here, some sort of a deal with Nvidia, not a deal, but talking about TSM right here and Nvidia. But anyways, lots of news happening here. We do have the after show, so join Adara and myself, and we'll be going over a bunch of different names, and we'll talk about those when we get back. What's up, A?
Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang saying that it's possible that the U.S. could fall behind China in AI. So that comment is coming here from Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang. Stock dropping kind of just in general here as we get to that 201 level once again. Back to you.
Yes, thank you, Adara. And just quickly, I did have a trailing stop on Beyond Meat. I didn't really have any intention of reloading that one. It wasn't going to get to $2 anyways. Does not break the low of the day either. Probably think of this the same way tomorrow. If it pops, try to do a bit better. I had it early, didn't get it at the absolute top. SMCI, I just tightened this trail because we have 2 minutes till the imbalances come in. Ed Miller, another Nvidia deal. Well, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, they're doing an event, so everything is going to get announced, and you're just going to keep hearing it over and over again. Not much of anything but Nvidia followed through. Like Uber.
Remember, none of these are actually deals.
Well,
they're just mentioning, like they're just using NVIDIA chips here. Like we can announce right here that Trader TV Live has put in NVIDIA GPUs into all these machines.
It doesn't really mean.
You know, it's using the technology, right, Adara? They're using.
Well, there are a few specific partnerships that they mentioned, and that's why, Sean, I wanted to mention that because, for example, CrowdStrike announced as a partner for cybersecurity. Palantir partnership. Like there are some that were hard partnerships. A lot of times, it's like Jensen Huang was just naming random companies. Oh, Caterpillar. Oh, they're here. They use us. But there were distinct differences, like CrowdStrike, like Palantir, like Stalantis, where there were more hardcore partnerships in mind.
Yeah, so I think that's the key word, right? Looking for those partnerships. So, yeah, good. Thanks, Adara, for all of that. We only have 1 minute now. Oh, here, we can do this.
Like Uber is now red, by the way.
Adara.
Thank you, Adara. Right, so that's what I mean. So, like, if they were getting this huge I don't think this is a partnership with NVIDIA, right? So there goes Uber, like, so you play that and straight there to the downside, right? And so that was another shot that, you know, you could have taken. I think you had something in there and then it dropped down and now you get out and it just sort of goes right back to maybe where it should have been in the first place.
Yeah,
right?
we weren't on when it made the move early.
Yeah.
So like if you were, like you had to be, we put this in the chat when it happened, but you had to take Uber on the actual news. So we were, like the midday was on, it was right before we came on. It bounced clean off VWAP here and there was a second push to the upside. I tried it off the prior highs, but that didn't work. It's the early trade on the news. You got to grab the exuberance. Yeah. If anything, like that should have been the back end of the trade. But I wasn't looking short on that name. SMCI just trailed out there, so it bounced off of like 52.3. So I just jumped out at 52.4. Not going to reload it. 15 seconds till the imbalances come in. Nvidia pulls back a bit. SMCI went with it, and that's the best part about it. Like essentially, just waited for a topping tail, go short, topping tail, go short. And whether it fall through or not, I get something to watch. It's like having the futures, and then you can just follow along. Nick Naruzzi is at a good position to take Uber high now. I'm not really thinking of anything except for maybe an imbalance trade. Nvidia, 1 million to sell, nothing burger. Intel, 1.4 million to buy, that's cheap. ETH, again, 2.2 million on the imbalance to the upside. Didn't move it yesterday, I don't suspect it will today. Rigetti sell 780,000 QBTS, 770,000, that's the early look, so it doesn't really matter. SMR, that's the early look. QUBT is a sell of 666,000. Apple, small sell. Overall, the market's about $1 billion to sell. Not huge, but given the rally we've been on, bit of a pullback happening. NASDAQ, 400 million essentially to sell. Dow, 430. Mag 7, 176 million to sell. So relatively muted imbalances. As a matter of fact, Nvidia already paired that off.
Yeah, we're starting to rip back up to the upside. We got out of NVIDIA there, and we're going to wait to see what happens to the Qs. We got out of another piece. As soon as it came out, we just offered and got out of everything. So we can see what AMD is. I mean, we already talked about NVIDIA a lot here. It's going to end up today probably around 201.50 or so right there as AMD's not doing anything. Neil just talked about a couple shots there in SMCI, so we don't have to go there. I'm just looking to see if anything else was hitting at the end of the day. Let's just have a quick little look to see where SoFi winds up there. Again, up another 5% today. I just say another 5% because it has been having some nice days heading into earnings. It had 3 straight up days, and today has another one of them days upside there for SoFi. Big move there.
Oh,
Hood's a good name too. DraftKings continues to get beat up downside. We have not averaged back into this name. It was a name that I do like there. Yeah, something that's on Polymarket or something. There was a DraftKings story, right, Adara? There was something about DraftKings earlier today. I mean, there has to be around. I'll give you the time, Adara. 1:15 story. Well, here I'll just look.
I'm going to look. I was just going to look.
Oh, Dara's not here. Okay. DKNG. Let's just do that, and then we'll just look it up ourselves right now. DraftKings. No, there's actually nothing in here, but there was.
I bet you go to Twitter.
No, there was. It was something to do with Polymarket or something there with DraftKings today. Someone else is getting involved in the prediction game, and it's not great for them. So there goes DraftKings, does that swoop down. You know, things have changed, right? We don't necessarily always just want to, I'm going to get out some more T's and TQs. You don't always just want to say like, okay, something's at a key level, therefore we want to buy it. You know, like DraftKings, I still like the stock, you know, Packers have been making me some money on the gambling side of things. So has the Jays actually. But right into here right now, these levels, there's a whole new game right now, and it's this predictive markets. And right now, DraftKings is taking a hit on that, right? Like the fact that you can open up your IBKR or whatever account you're doing on and gamble against the New York Knicks tonight, even though you're located in New York, you can't do that if you open up your FanDuel or DraftKings app because of geolocation, right? So that's part of the problem right now with DraftKings. If that's my understanding anyways. So I would say there's still a little bit more to go on DKNG, and then maybe they get it together and buy. Well, we already know that they got that into Railbird or whatever, so hopefully that'll get them going as well. But they're going to have to announce something, and when they do, then I think it does get back up to the upside. So I think we wait on DKNG here down another 6%. So that would be the negative one, plus PayPal. I think there's some more follow-up, and then SMCI finally doing some dances as well right there. But we'll go over to Neil.
Absolutely, and for too long, trading has meant risking your own money or not having enough to start. So that fear of losing has kept many traders in the sidelines, but that is changing because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With a limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters. Get your discipline, consistency, and growth. And when you hit your profit target, you keep 70% of those profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code on screen to get 10% off your first evaluation. About 50 seconds to go until possibly these imbalances pair. Ethereum, well, not Ethereum, ETHA paired off half of that buy and balance. Intel grew a little bit to go to 1.7. SoFi wasn't there before, but it's only 800,000 to the buy side. I doubt that's going to move the needle on SoFi. Yeah, not really moving at all. And we just got a super chat from Adam James.
Ooh.
DVLT, news about acquiring API Media. DVLT. Just now? I thought there was news on this morning. I think that was
a stock from yesterday too.
Yeah, it was a mover yesterday. Been trending down all day. I guess that makes sense if they're doing an acquisition. I did not hear anything recently, but we can always look it up. DVLT. Is that acquisition real? Yeah, I see that. That's, oh yeah, to acquire API Media. Terms not disclosed. Is API Media public? I do not see it. So maybe not. But just remember, like, just because one company is buying another doesn't necessarily mean one goes to the moon. Or like, yeah, you don't, it's kind of difficult to, for the acquired company, if it's being bought by cash or cash or stock, you can kind of do some work and figure out where it should be or an idea of where it should be. But for the acquiring company, if it's like all stock and you're using leverage, it could go down. If it's seen as a fantastic synergy and there's a bunch of shorts in it, then you could see a squeeze play. I don't know enough about it to see whether that's going to be good or not, but you are seeing a little bit of a push here. Maybe it goes green, that DVLT. It's just not that simple, just because you make an acquisition that you should go one direction or the other. Oftentimes, I feel like if a good company gets beaten up because they're spending a bunch of cash, it can be a good dip buy in the short run. That wouldn't necessarily apply to a small capper like this.
No. But good question there, and thanks for asking us, guys. Any other questions like that, let us know. EA Sports, of course, is a deal, and they're reporting tonight, EA Sports, so we can wait to see
in the game.
What they wind up doing tonight
Might be worth it.
on earnings. So that's EA, and we're going to wait. Down a little bit there today.
I hope they miss. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I've seen these, sometimes if a deal is huge and it takes a while to close, you'll have the stock react off earnings by dipping down, but then it goes past like the fair value. Like if it's expected to close in the middle of next year, just find the current interest rate and do like a current value, just whatever. Like find the current value of what you think the fair value should be of the stock. And if it dips too far underneath that because it reported earnings, well, it should be trading on the deal, not earnings. And then you buy that dip. Sometimes you get that advantage in the pre-market and you can get some overreaction fills. In the pre-market, it's just something I do. It's risky, so you should do that with caution and with smaller shares, obviously. But I like when these report earnings because people will say, oh no, bad earnings, sell the stock. Well, remember, it's being bought entirely in cash. Willis Addison with a super chat. Enphase, they're reporting after the bell, I believe.
Yep.
And, Cheesecake Factory, their report?
Yep.
That one I was not aware of, the Cheesecake Factory. I'm embarrassed to say this. I have never eaten at the Cheesecake Factory. Never.
I don't think I have either.
Really?
They're not popular here. I think there's one in York.
No, I thought there was one at Sherway. Sure. There wasn't one at Sherway? Okay. Well, I mean, I've never been, so it's whatever.
No, I know Sherway. Sherway is our family mall. There, believe me, I know all about Sherway.
No, I've been
Sephora
to
is in
years.
Sherway. I'll leave it at that. So yeah, all right. So with only 2 minutes left, guys, the market is what it is right now today. It's starting to fall back in just a little bit here for Nvidia. So great trade there, breaking through 200. I hope some of you were able to spin this on that one. That was a good one. And then this futures trade, we've been getting. I'm just going to dump them all. I got to go over the desk anyways and get ready here. Just wanted to see what we were going to do here with just a couple seconds left in the market. It looks like we are going one way, and that seems to be down right now as we wait to see again where this market wants to end up the day. Seems like a little bit lower here, but who knows? There's only a couple minutes left. The NASDAQ pulling off of that 1%. I'm going to say ho-hum about it, and I really do mean that. I didn't expect anybody to be like losing sleep over the NASDAQ today. We were long pretty much all day on this since we came back. We went short early, but once it broke that level that it was already at, we just flipped over to the long. We like that trade, and it looks like it's going to print out for us and give us, you know, the day that we need. So good day there on the NASDAQ. Again, AMD will still be P&L number one. For me, and we don't even have this short right in there into the end of the day. So that's going to be a really good trade for me. And then SoFi is going to be the only red mark that I have today. Obviously, you guys just saw me do what I did on Nvidia, so that's a good one. And then the TQs, right? Another positive name. So yeah, both big stocks there. Really happy to have done that. We only now have 30 seconds to go. Join Adara and myself there on this after show, and we'll talk everything about earnings. And there's a couple today, nothing like huge or anything, but still good names coming through for the after show.
Enphase is a mover.
Yes, Enphase should give you the percentage.
What was the expected on Enphase? Well, we'll get there in a quick little second. It doesn't matter. With only about 15 seconds to go, get ready for the bell. I'm gonna have Enphase up in case. I don't even know if it's 4 or like 405, but oh, that's right. I don't actually have to hit the button anymore. Thank you very much. Let's ring it in 3, 2, and 1. And the market is closed in green. The ES only 0.25%. The NASDAQ able to close 3 times higher than that. Why? Because tech was strong, led by Nvidia, obviously, as you guys saw. And we showed you the sector board. It was across the board, like weakness in like 80% of the sectors were actually quite weak. We do have Enphase. We'll be reporting after the bell. Some big stories and a lot to recap. There were a lot of earnings names that, you know, maybe not day trades like your UNHs. Certainly that went ham. Wayfair also went ham. But it was the Nvidia story. They had their little conference. Jensen Huang was announcing about 1 million things. Deal here. They're using our products. These guys are having a partnership. And that was the theme of the afternoon. But don't forget, we also have the Fed tomorrow. 99% chance that we're going to get a rate cut. Ruben Teixeira, tomorrow short Nvidia? I don't know. I think the 5 trillion mark is a short. I don't know if it gets to $205.20. That historically has been a bit of a top. We'll see if that ends up holding true. It's got to get there first, the 5 trillion mark, certainly within spitting distance. $4 weighs only 2 percentage points, and you have a $5 trillion company. But enough of me. We got the market recap coming up. A lot to cover. Absolutely ridiculous day for Nvidia and the overall market. Let's go to the desk. We've got Sean, we've got Adara, and we've got the ramp job of covering what was Nvidia's breakout.
God, I need to go get my phone because it's not letting me log in over here. All right, what's up, everybody? Yeah, welcome. We do have Booking Holdings, I guess, right now. BK.
Not yet, but we're supposed to.
I just heard it in my ear, but yeah, so we want to look at that up. Right here, Booking, right now, 51.20. Daryl was just saying it's a $5,000 name. So we're going to have to, you know, figure that one out. Maybe it's not out yet, but yeah, welcome to the show. I'm going to get the show going in just a couple of seconds. I had to get out of some trades there at the end of the day, so I'm not exactly set up. This show is brought to you by Global X. We want to thank them again for their Beta Pro 3X trade platform.
I have the earnings.
Okay, go ahead with Booking Holdings.
Yes, so, and I'm not joking here, but these earnings per share, $99.50 is what I'm seeing. Well above estimates of $95.92. Revenue, $9.008 billion. Looks like that's beating estimates of $8.73 billion. I always like to be cautious sometimes about the estimates that I see because a lot of times these estimates are not necessarily going to be directly comparable, or different analysts have different estimates. They average it differently. Either way, it looks like a double beat for BKNG. Now, you might be like, well, Adara, how will you know what's going to be reporting now? I have this handy calendar, which you can find for yourself on X at TTV Research, shameless plug. And that's how I know at 4 p.m. we're also expecting Caesar and LOGI Logitech. So let's take a look here if I have either of these with my handy infographic. I don't have either, but I will look into them on X. Shout out to Elon Musk and team for X. And I don't have anything on Logitech. Let's see if I have anything on CZR. Caesar Entertainment. Yeah, I'm not going to hail Caesar right now because I don't have the report. So there we go. That is me going over these numbers for you guys. Again, BKNG, as far as I can tell, double beat right now. Then at 4:05 p.m., we get the much more exciting names like Enphase, Bloom Energy, Seagate, Visa, EA, Mondelez, and the Cheesecake Factory at 4:15 p.m., which, fun fact, is actually a really good restaurant. I like it.
Yeah, I know. I've never been either. So we were talking about that.
It's pretty good.
Like one of everything. Oh,
it's not just cheesecake. They have food too.
Yeah, they have like one of everything in there, I feel like, for cheesecake. Isn't there a menu?
Kind of. It's like a 2-page cheesecake menu.
Right,
but last time I went, I didn't even get the cake. I just got like a pasta, which their pasta is bomb. But yeah, if you're ready to like sit for 2.5 hours and wait for a table, then Cheesecake Factory is for you. If not, then don't do it. But yeah, there we go. We have gone over everything. Someone in the chat saying Garbaggio. That's pretty funny. But yes, CZR and LOGI still waiting on these. Yeah,
booking now is starting to go back up there, up that 2%. So just back and forth here, depending on what tick you get, as it is a big name with not too much liquidity. Okay, so let's just go over Nvidia, see if there's doing anything here in the after hours. 201 and change. That's basically where we went out. Today we made a brand new all-time high of 203.28 as Nvidia. What did they call today for Nvidia?
They called it the GTC Washington, and Jensen literally went out like he was a tech bro from the 90s, like Washington, GTC Washington. Jensen Huang was the star of today's show, and he had so much fun today.
Good, yeah. Why not?
It was fun to watch, honestly.
Why not, man? He's going for that, I don't know, him or Elon. I mean, who's going to be the world's richest man? I think Elon, just the way the pay structure is focused. He's got that one. And plus, also NVIDIA almost at, Neil asks perplexity, 205 and change for the $5 trillion club. We'll see if it can get to that. We had Tesla. We just talked about these two rich guys. Tesla, what, Elon's net value, 500 billion or something? Tesla right now, 1.77%. Nice day for Tesla, still going to the upside there as well. And you can, again, thank Beta Pro for this show today. We did have a bad day for Bitcoin, to be honest with you. I mean, we were talking back and forth about it a little bit. It did have not a great end to the day there. I'm wondering if this is a move in Bitcoin just ahead of the earnings.
These are earnings.
Ahead of the Fed tomorrow. You know, maybe I'll look tonight to see what it was. September the 17th was the last Fed day. So we can maybe have a quick look because they cut a quarter point. That was as expected. It was the start of a rate cut cycle. Now we look at right here with BTC starting this downside play. So let's just quickly go back. Why don't we look at what September 17th was, and maybe we can get a good idea here of that play. Here's September 17th right here. So that did start a little bit of a downside play there for Bitcoin as we zoom in. This day right here is the 17th. So we go up and down and then fall. So, all right, maybe there is a little bit of a talk there about BTC. I don't know. Hey, man, maybe Bitcoin made some sort of a partnership with NVIDIA or not. I don't know. But you said you have Enphase right now.
Yep.
So let's go back over. Enphase should benefit from lower rates. So I'm hoping that their guide was good, Adara, because they're going to get 50 basis points within the next 2 months. What is Enphase saying?
So Enphase here, $410.4 million, beating estimates, actually quite nicely beating estimates of $357.8 million. Adjusted earnings of 90 cents per share, beating estimates of 62 cents. So their non-adjusted EPS of 50 cents actually did miss estimates. Adjusted net income, $117.3 million, nicely beating estimates of $85.5 million. Net income, non-adjusted, $66.6 million. Q4 revenue outlook between $310 and $350 million. Unfortunately, Sean, not seeing how that compares to estimates. Visa is apparently out according to their press release, but then when I went to click on their press release on the website, unfortunately, I could not open it because it was not there. Thank you to Andrew Sandoval for the kind words here in the chat. Jensen is a rock star like you. I don't know if I'm on Jensen's level. Like the man was pretending a giant GPU was a shield like Captain America. But thank you very much for the kind words, Andrew. I don't have Visa earnings yet, guys, long story short, but looks like a double beat for Enphase.
Okay, yeah, Visa, just to give you guys a little look here on Visa, although we do not have it yet, this is what the play looks like right now, downside right now for symbol V. So we'll see if that can get going, but it's not a big, huge move at all. So it's probably, Darren's probably right. The street either going through it right now or it's getting released. But okay, so Enphase looking pretty good on that double beat, as Adair had mentioned, right there again. I have the numbers on the screen in just 1 second, and here they are right here, adjusted EPS of 90 cents, beating their 65, sales of 410, beating 365. So Enphase just doing a couple dances right now. What, Solar Edge?
STX and BE are both out.
STX, okay, Seagate. All right, so this is gonna be a big one here. So we'll see, again, another tech name. We've seen some strong tech plays lately. Seagate is one that gets forgot about often on our show because we just don't trade it with the liquidity. It's a $230 name, but there goes Seagate right now. And it doesn't look like it there. If it's out, it doesn't look like it's that eventful right now, as they're going to be upside a little bit. Remember, our number that we're showing here, up or right now down 1.8%, includes the day's move as well. So right here in the after hours, it is ticking upside a little bit. This is Seagate Technologies. Hopefully everything's fine. I mean, tomorrow we got some big reports, right? Isn't tomorrow Google?
Tomorrow's Google, Meta, Microsoft, Starbucks, CMG, Carvana, eBay, and there's ServiceNow.
And then ServiceNow is a big one. Yeah, I think ServiceNow is.
And then Thursday we get Apple, Amazon, Coinbase, MSTR, Reddit, Roku, quite a few as well. There's, I think, more earnings names just by pure quantity on Thursday, but there's more interesting ones on Wednesday. I'm going to go over STX, Bloom Energy, and EA really quickly, Sean, if you don't mind. STX, your Seagate holdings, as you mentioned, pretty uneventful. It was a double beat, but the guidance was kind of just there. Adjusted earnings of $2.61 per share, beating estimates of $2.37. Sales, $2.629 billion, beating estimates of $2.545 billion, so double beat. Now, they guided Q2 adjusted earnings between $2.55 and $2.95 per share. The midpoint of that does beat estimates of $2.62, but the guidance is kind of wide. Sales, they're guiding between $2.6 billion and $2.8 billion. Once again, midpoint here does exceed estimates of $2.656 billion. But you know who's not giving guidance here, Sean?
Who's that?
EA. They have suspended guidance.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you know, they're getting acquired, but I will talk about what they did give us, which was earnings. Looks like they did miss on revenue, $1.84 billion versus estimates of $1.88 billion. Earnings of 54 cents per share. I've looked a couple places. No one is showing me the comparable estimate, so I'm guessing it doesn't really compare to estimates there. But again, revenue here was a miss. Net income of $137 million, and they're ending that forward guide. I want to talk as well about Bloom Energy, BE. Are we blooming to the upside? Sort of. BE here, which got a deal with Brookfield Asset Management now 2 weeks ago from yesterday. They reported a double beat here, Sean. 15 cents earnings per share versus estimates of 9 cents. Sales, $519.048 million versus estimates of $424.983 million.
All right, Bloom Energy is one of those names that has really taken off. I mean, this was a name that we had like in the 20s just a couple months ago, as you can see right here. There's Bloom Energy. This goes back to July, where we had this bottom down into $24 back here, and it's just really taken off. So another one of those energy names that continues to go. I was hoping that maybe they would miss, and then we could buy it up, like what happened with its good friend GE Vernova. But it looks like right now Bloom Energy starting to get going once again. It just hit that high of 120, and look where that is on the daily charts. We've already been here into 120 before, and we'll see if we can get that again.
Hydration Nation.
Water right there, as Hydration Nation's always strong. But yeah, up to 123 and change would be that breaking spot there for Bloom Energy. Nice move now. So yeah, Derek just mentioned there Visa. So now that we finally got the numbers, I feel like it's already reacted to it. Not that much of a move, like down 1% right here. That's not that aggressive at all for stock Visa, when I believe we were looking at 4 or 5% as a potential move. Remember, I like AXP. I think AXP, I don't want to say best of breed or anything, but when you're looking at PEs and valuation here, look where AXP is going to go out at today, near or at, probably above all-time highs. 362 for American Express, not moving on this Visa number, but it's Visa that we're going to talk about. You do have the numbers?
I do.
Okay, so downside push, but not by much.
Yeah, so I believe as well, Sean, the expected move for this was 3.5%, so it looks like we're kind of in line here. Adjusted earnings here narrowly beating estimates, 2.98, beating by just a hair compared to estimates of 2.97 per share. Sales beating estimates, $10.724 billion, beating estimates of $10.614 billion. Now, revenue, again, that's a 1% beat. That's tight. EPS here down 26% year over year. But revenue actually up by 6% year over year. So EPS down on a year over year basis, narrowly beating estimates, and revenue, again, up 6% year over year. So mixed look there for Visa, though it was, as a lot of these names have been today, a double beat. I want to talk about Mondelez as well.
Sure.
MDLZ. Harry Liu in the chat asking me about Teradyne. It looks like they're reporting at 5:05 p.m. So unfortunately, I don't have them. And even when I looked at them on Benzinga, it didn't even say they were reporting today. So more likely we'll get those earnings, I guess, to process anyway tomorrow morning. So we'll talk about MDLZ, Mondelez, because Mondelez is this packaged food or candy name, pretty sweet or snacky? I don't know. It's pretty weak here, guys. Adjusted earnings of 73 cents, narrowly beating estimates of 71 cents. Sales, 9.744 billion, beating estimates of 9.713 billion. That is yet another double beat. Though, again, EA was not a double beat, so nothing's perfect. They did have, though, these lowering here of their guidance, adjusted EPS guidance lowering from $3.02 to $2.86. So their guidance previously was right in line with estimates. Now it's well below estimates here, Sean, and people.
All right, what, I feel you just talked about candy there. Everyone has a favorite candy growing up. I mean, I think for me, I like gummy bears. Like, I always thought that gummy bears, like gummy worms, you know, I think that those were pretty good. I was like color or flavor agnostic. Like, it didn't matter.
Really?
They all taste the same.
That's rare as a kid,
Yeah, I didn't really care that much. Or, you know what, like to treat yourself with like a Freezy or something like that. Sour Patch Kids are popular. I know with my kids right now. Is that true, Fabian? They're popular right now? Yeah. Oh, you know what's good right now? I know this is a what's up. Welcome to the recap show. We're going to do some stock stuff in a minute. Have you had those nerds? They're gummy nerds or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called. My wife bought those once. They're like a little crunchy. They have like that. I don't know what they're called, but people in the chat.
The nerd clusters?
Nerd clusters. Good one. That's exactly what they're called. You had those? No, you don't like them?
I've had them. I don't have any particular feeling on them. I think when I was a kid, my favorites are, and I'm going to get hate for this in the chat, but I'll say it anyway. I liked black licorice all sorts. I really liked the Scotch Mints and also the wintergreen mints. And I enjoyed, just black licorice, anything, everything. Now I kind of, for sweet stuff, I still have, sometimes like the cherry sours, the jelly bean. Like, I have a really boring taste now, and I still like that other stuff, but it's like, it's, I guess, less of a novelty when you're older.
Zambuca. You like Zambuca.
Yes, which is also black licorice.
Right.
And I mentioned that on the show, too. Yeah.
I remember when we went out there with Nimit there, we were asking that guy for Zambuca, and he's like, well, we don't have it here.
But they have it in Winnipeg.
I know. That's why I was like, what?
He was from my home city.
Pretty popular there. All right, Adara.
We have news, too, really quick.
I was just going to say, I'm going to task you to something there. Go Bills in the chat right here. Come over to my chart. It looks like Joby right now, potentially. He mentioned it was an Nvidia deal. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, so I found it, and I put it in the chat already too. Joby tapping Nvidia to accelerate next era autonomous flight. They're also being named the launch partner of IGX Thor platform, which is interesting because usually these deals are kind of worded like Nvidia partners up with. Joby's making it sound like they're the big dog and they're trying to get Nvidia involved, which is a really interesting way of wording the press release. But yeah, either way here, it looks like Nvidia is working with, or Joby's working with Nvidia. I also have cheesecake earnings, and honestly, I'm going to make another pun, surprising no one. These are not very sweet. And, I don't care how cheesy that sounds. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat.
You can actually order meals at Cheesecake, right? It's not just cake.
I do. And I have. But yeah, thank you to Willis Addison for the $2 super chat. Enphase and Cake Sigh. Let's go, ER. I don't know what ER is. Earnings reports in general?
I guess so.
I like that. Thank you very much, Willis Addison.
There's another one, DVLT. I think we already talked.
Adam James, DVLT news about acquiring API Media. DVLT has just kind of had the same headline recirculating a couple times, but it's not involving API Media. Let me see. Okay, this was as of intraday. So this is actually a couple hours old now, but Data Vault apparently set to acquire API Media and an all cash transaction, terms not disclosed. Now, the reason I'm a little bit skeptical here, Sean, and people about DVLT is because yesterday they accidentally, quote unquote, had an existing news story from last week recirculated. And sometimes things are accidents, but sometimes I just don't trust stuff.
Right.
So just be aware of DVLT.
Or they really like rehash the same story.
Oh, yeah, especially these small caps.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking that story sounded familiar, and then Benzinga's like, 5 hours later, it's the same story from 5 days ago. And I'm like, yeah, it is. But anyways, I want to talk here about Cheesecake Factory. Sorry, I got a little derailed there.
Go.
Adjusted EPS beat 68 cents versus estimates of 60 cents. Sales, 907.226 million, missing estimates of 912.784 million. We have not had a lot of misses today. We haven't had any double misses today at all. But Cheesecake Factory, yeah, again, that's not going to be really fun to chew on. And I have DJT news too. Much like today, Sean, where there was so much news and so much to follow, it's the same into the aftermarket. DJT not really moving at all, but Trump Media and Technology on watch. Apparently, oh my gosh, according to an SEC filing, they're going to be offering prediction markets on Truth Social. So with that in mind,
Didn't we have that story this morning, or was there something else about DJT this morning?
I'll look into it.
I think that might be another rehash.
Yeah, I'll see if that's a rewatch. Okay, so that is from this morning, but this was not, I guess, on the SEC filing. So this is now through the SEC filing. I guess they filed it, but you're right. This was initially announced this morning. So that is correct, because I didn't see that. I'm now not in the room with these guys. I'm in a whole other room, so I don't hear a lot of the morning show, because I don't really have a headphone attached. Like, I'll just watch the screen to see when it's time for me to run in here. But yeah, so I miss some stories that way.
Is that what you do? Don't run. I've seen you run around here before. There's too much stuff to trip on.
I've been more careful.
You are much too valuable to get hurt around here. So, although you'll probably come in a wheelchair with a broken leg.
I'm the type that
all that
would.
kind of stuff. I think that's about same as I, man. Same as I was coming in when I'm not even supposed to look at screens, and we were in here. Thanks for asking. The eye is going well.
I was going to say. I was just going to ask you, how was the eye
playing around? Yeah, it's going great. It's going great, Ramin.
Oh, okay, that's
couldn't
funny.
See.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're like, I can't see anything. That was pretty good. That was my bad
that's
for
my
not getting
own
that joke.
Fail right there. Sharif and I, look, I grabbed the mic today because Sharif was mentioning that he thinks NVIDIA's moat is one that can get basically shrunk. And I just feel like, I told him I completely disagree with that. Do I think that NVIDIA is sort of a house of cards? No, I don't, because I do think that there's so many companies that have made deals with NVIDIA. I think today we could probably name 10, if I asked Adair right now, please don't do it, but I think there's at least 10 names that we can associate with NVIDIA today alone. So when we talk about a name like Joby, when we talk about a name like Uber, when we talk about any of these other names that have involved AMD even over the last little while, with Oracle, with IBM and all that, all of these names are not just with NVIDIA for the sake of it. NVIDIA has the faster chips, and then they have the software. So you have to remember there's a software stack that's involved here, and once you start to layer on top of it, you can't just say, oh, well, AMD has cheaper chips, I'm switching. The cause of that, I've spoken to a lot of people in IT, including our CIT here as well. You can't just switch. It's not that simple to say, oh, Qualcomm is making chips that are going to be half the price of NVIDIA, I'm switching. No, Wall Street will obviously take that into account, and maybe NVIDIA guides lower. Maybe something happens to NVIDIA whereby they do not hit some of the given levels stated by Wall Street. Remember, there's analysts out here that are supposed to be smarter than us that are looking into these things. So I just want to wait to hear CapEx. I think tomorrow's super important. I want to make sure that Google's still spending money over here. I want to make sure that Apple's got to deal with somebody to put their Perplexity or Anthropic or something like that into Apple. And then we can see after that where we go. Is Meta still building Llama? What's going on there? Is there still talk of NVIDIA? Because as you see, there are many individual names that are continuously moving on NVIDIA deals and on NVIDIA news. So I believe that moat is actually getting bigger as we go. But I don't want to be here and say like, oh, I'm pumping NVIDIA at all-time highs. Not that at all. I actually looked at my account today. I'm embarrassed to say that although I have it in multiple accounts, I had such a small piece there from like 10 years ago, but now it's just blowing up. And I think that's the advantage of holding on to names that are like secular, that can get going, that are big shifts in momentum and in the way that we think. And I think right now, if AI is involved in early innings, is indeed in the early innings, then NVIDIA still has more room to go. And I like the stock here, but if you're nervous about it, trim before earnings, which come in mid to late November. You still have a long ways to go. I think tomorrow's going to be big. Let's wait to see if any of those guys can get going. Have a lot of reference design. I mean, here it is right here, Harry Liu, even in the chat. A lot of reference design for applications, but the value on the application side is going more proprietary models. I mean, that's why you see names like Palantir and things like that, that will give the software, that will give the foundry. You have to build into that so that it solves your problem, right? Joby for aviation over there. there. They're going to be using their chips, and we want to thank you for that. My eyes still cannot read that question from where I am, about 15,
My eyes barely can
15
either.
feet from here. So thanks for that question in the chat for sure. All right, some other names that were popping around today. I was really surprised at PayPal, Adara, because Brennan stood right in that spot that you're in right now and said, I don't see much wrong. I believe it was with the PayPal.
There is one thing wrong that was really wrong. They said they're already seeing decelerating U.S. spending, and they think that's going to continue.
It might have not been PayPal that he said that to, but I think that PayPal was one of the #1 names on our watch list there today.
It was the #1.
Okay, so I think it probably was that. Uh-oh. No, we're not fighting here at all. But PayPal today hits the floor. Like, this got knocked out. So I think that would be appropriate for that. They got knocked out today. PayPal, nice downside play there. Still up 3%, but you wouldn't know that if you were trading it today. You know, there's the drop in the pre-market that started falling back in. We made a little bit of a high. We always say when there's a gap, play to VWAP, but that didn't play today. That's this blue line right here. There was really no play off of volume-weighted average price. If anything, I mean, I guess you would have tried to have been short there in the pre-market, guys, but that's a dangerous play. Back into 72. I actually think this is a decent long if we can get back to some levels that we were at yesterday, which is where we're at right now, $72. Let's take advantage of PayPal and put that in our sort of in our queue tomorrow and have a look at PYPL right now, back into that $72 level. I like the stock. Recent deals, of course, with Google and today with OpenAI. That was the big look there for them. We did go out with a nice report from SoFi, man. That was a good one there today. Although we got thrown around in SoFi a little bit earlier, they are trading higher into the close with 8 cents, estimate of 8 cents, putting up 11 cents. So they easily beat that by 30%. Then they get the 885 on the sales, which is a nice move there on their gap EPS of 37 cents, well above 31 on the guide, and they also beat on the revenue side of 949 versus that 885. And you could see SoFi was a little bit of a tricky one. We wrote down $30. I thought if we got back into yesterday's close, that would be like, oh my God, with this report, we can buy it from yesterday's prices. I liked it. Whoops, that was a fail. My only red trade today was trying to catch the SoFi long. Not only did we try to catch it there at 30, I also tried to catch it down here at 29, and that broke 29. And then I basically made the bottom wick down there somewhere around 29 bucks. And then SoFi said, thank you, Sean, you are now out. Not that I was applying any pressure to the stock because I was trying to go long. And then it goes back there to the upside, closing at day highs. We really like SoFi around here. I know Neil and I are in that name as it continues to go higher, SoFi, and we say go Los Angeles Rams because they play out of SoFi Stadium. So that was a good one. And then UPS today, again, they came out like basically like they were shot out of a cannon early, right? I mean, that was a big play yesterday, probably. Were they this morning? No, they were last night. Was UPS or was it this morning, the report?
UPS was this morning.
Okay, so you didn't have it on yesterday's show. But again, nice upside move. Look, yesterday, chilling around 89, gets all the way to 100, and everyone's like, we're saved. But then it closes at 96. So it actually gives back about 4% on the day. They were around 15 at its highs. UPS, not a great stock over the last year and a half, as you know the shipping wars continue here. FedEx doing much better than UPS. That dividend still sits around 7%. So we are a little nervous about UPS there giving some back today. We can check out on FedEx as that had sort of sympathy plays as well. And you're going to see the FedEx chart looking a little bit different than UPS as well. There it is. So UPS and FedEx. FedEx trying to break through some levels. UPS just trying to say, where's my life preserving jacket right there. UNH also Adara today. Interrupt me if there's any sort of earnings stuff that's going on.
We went through
I know you got some good graphics that maybe if we haven't showed you can do that, of course, at any time. All right, Q3 earnings of United Health. Look, United Health, unfortunately, you know, they had this story there, and it's also a very, very tough subject to talk about because we all do know that insurance probably does not pay out as often as they should, let alone as much as they should. So it's a little iffy. There's a lot of traders that don't, it's not really a laughing matter, but I do appreciate that, Fabian. Anyways, UNH did have that huge dip down there as there was obviously other things involved with United Care? The CEO, what was it?
United Healthcare.
Healthcare, right? United Healthcare.
Brian Thompson.
Right, so that was an unfortunate event, down to the downside there, but it really did shine some light on the whole industry, right? So you did get CCE hit to the downside, as well as Oscar and some other health names that were hit to the downside. But there you go, you get a break of the 50-period moving average, and it's been upside for UNH right now. They don't, again, like, they had a nice beat, and then the market was like, no thank you, as soon as we opened up, man. So there's the move higher, there's the move back in. Now we have a reference bottom of around 360. So we'll see if it can hold that bottom. That's a good one. I always like to use day of reference points, because that's where the buyers came in. They sold it off, traders took profit. UNH today finds that bottom in and around 360. I do want to thank all 3,500 of you that have stayed with us. It's not a huge earnings day here at all, but again, it's a busy one around here, as you probably didn't stay up too late for that.
I didn't stay up at all. I looked it up at one point. At that point, they were 1-1. I said, okay, cool. Then I went to bed. Then this morning I woke up and I said, oh, 18 inning, that's cool. And then I went, wait, what, 18th inning?
Yeah, it's like
and then I realized, well, yeah, that's a double game.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess Kendrick and Drake, neither of them got sleep last night.
No, they didn't. But we'll see tonight. So it's 3 games in a row. So they go tomorrow, yesterday, today, tomorrow, and then hopefully back here in Toronto for Game 6 and Game 7. All right, Visa numbers, good numbers, right?
Yep.
As their report gets them a little bit higher, but you said the implied move was around 3.5%.
Yeah,
it looks like right now we're getting 0.5%. Do you have the numbers there?
Yeah, I have more details to on Visa.
Okay, let's go.
We can show this infographic here, guys. It's even posted on X yet, so I'm really excited. I have it scheduled. It should show up on your X in about an hour if you follow X at TTV Research. Here's a master post of all the expected release times and all of the EPS and revenue estimates for all 5 of the Meg 7 names reporting in the next few days.
Back. Yeah.
But you might be like, hey, I want more detail. Guys, that's going to be coming too, because I will be posting over the next few days our earnings preview infographics for each of these companies. So please stay tuned, X at TTV Research, for that info. But right now, the info we want to talk about is our friend Visa. Visa was a double beat, Sean. Earnings here of 28 cents per share versus estimates of 297. Sales here of 10.724 billion, beating estimates of 10.614 billion. I have some more details too in the report as well that I can go over. So again here, quarterly revenue beat estimates. It was also up significantly year over year from $9.61 billion last year. So that's 12% year over year growth. And apparently that was driven, guys, by Sean and folks, by the year-over-year growth in payment volumes, cross-border volume, and processed transactions. Payment volume actually up here 8% year-over-year. Payment volume payment volume, I guess, the previous quarter up 8% year-over-year. Looks like this quarter it was up 9% year-over-year. That's kind of weird, Benzinga. But yeah, so again, decent volume here across the board. Also, I have a shocking piece of news to deliver. Apparently, the Senate has failed in its latest effort to make daylight savings time permanent.
No, I want that to be permanent.
I mean, it wouldn't be here. It would be in the U.S. anyway.
No, but Ottawa's already said the minute.
Oh, they already said that.
Well, because they can't. We can't do it.
Yeah,
like if New York, like imagine New York is 7:30 and we're like, nah, we're not changing. We're gonna stay at 8:30.
That'd be a lot.
Like that would be a nightmare, right? The NYSE is going to open up. Like, anyways, that's why they're not doing it. Canada has already stated that if the United States jumps, they'll jump with them. So hopefully that can get settled. I hate daylight savings time, man. I mean, I hate losing an hour then gaining an hour. It works one time, it doesn't work the other time. Forget about it. Thank you, everybody in the chat there. Want to wave and say hi to everybody that's in the chat. All right, we got to go. So Joby right here, Joby Aviation. This is the big story that people are talking about in the chat. They are selected by, again, Nvidia. Some company I've never really, I think they're a chip name, as aviation launch partners for their new, again, there's that name again, Nvidia, I think is how you pronounce it there, IGX Thor platform. So another big deal there. And this, again, selected by. So that's good for Joby right there. Nice move upside. Just looking at their chart, there's still room to grow here on Joby. I think this is definitely a tomorrow type of thing. All right, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Adara, this is, you just put that graphic up about all the Mag 7s.
Yes.
All right, so which one do you think will have the best reaction to their quarter? So I'm not going to say like what's the best quarter, but
I like that.
At the end of the day, so Microsoft, let's just say reports, and then where are they?
Google.
Google, boom. I love that. I'm going to say Apple.
See, I was gonna say, I feel like Apple is the biggest wild card. I almost said Apple, but then I was like, Apple kind of tends to be kind of
So that's so the reason why I said it is for that exact reason. I'm a little nervous. I don't think there's going to be like 10% moves on any of these names.
No.
So I think Apple's going to report great sales, obviously, of their iPhone. I feel like they can now safely guide forward because they can easily see sort of the demand here. China's obviously going to be an issue for Apple, and they may guide towards that, which is a problem. The new AirPods, the services, I really like what they've been doing there.
Same.
I think Apple TV is kind of blowing up a little bit. They do get that good movie there with race cars. F1. They got the deals with F1 as well. I think that'll be a big mover to the upside. And I think if Apple can go up 4 or 5% on their report and hold it, that might be your winner.
Yeah, that could. My one thing there is I worry that with those iPhone 17 sales are going to be a one-trick pony. Like they're like, oh, our sales are so good, and I'm like, this could be a bit, can you sustain this? But we'll have to wait and find out.
I mean, the numbers are going to be in the hundreds of billions of
I
dollars.
agree, it'll be really
and
strong.
I mean, they might miss or whatever. I'm looking for that guide just a little bit. And then obviously we'll see if Apple can talk a little bit about things other than the iPhone. That's Adara. That's Adara. This is whoever. We are Trader TV Live, and we will, thank you, Fabian. Thank you, Neil, Brendan, Ramin, Sharif, Joe, Randy,
Mark,
Rob, Russell, whoever's putting that epoxy in the other side that gets me as high as hell in the afternoon. Thank you so much for that. We got to get out of here. We got a busy night. Go Jays, go. It's Trader TV Live. Check you all tomorrow at 8:30. It's Fed Day, baby.
see ya.